When you hit ons, know it's game time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No breaks, green light. No breaks, I got the green light. When you hit ons, know it's game time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No breaks, green light. No breaks, I got the green. We gon' tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, yeah. We ain't going out, we ain't going into town, no. Money ain't the mission, no, we coming for the crown, yeah, we coming for the crown. If we going out, then we going out loud, eh. Putting on the show, young man, take a bow, eh. Even under pressure, they ain't never had doubt. But if we gon' do it, gotta do it right now.
Yo, what's good, everybody, man? Welcome back to another edition of Heart of the City, man. We talking all New York City area sports. And tonight, man, we got something special cooking for you. Getting into this Mikal Bridges situation, man. Mikal Bridges, introduced by the New York Knicks, of course. A lot of people still salty about that. Some Nets fans. New York Giants, man, coming on in about 15 minutes. New Hard Knocks episode, man. We're going to dive into that. We will be on throughout the stream to talk about it and talk about some more Giants news and notes. Yankees. The Yankees, what's going on right now? They still down. They're down right now to the Rays, man, 4-1, man. This team is struggling, man. Who is going to save the Yankees? Definitely want to dive into that, man. And we got a lot of other things planned for you tonight, man. So please tap in with us, man. Please hit that like button. Please share this to all your social media platforms, man. And like I always like to do, man, want to talk to my co-host, want to talk to my chat, man, before we get started, man. Coach, Big Pat Sports Talk in the building. What's good with y'all, man? How y'all feeling tonight? What's up?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Be in and out because I'm making some damn potatoes. Got to check on them, but man, Heart of the City, man. I'm just ready to talk about some of these teams in the city, man.
Facts, man. Definitely, man. Going to dive into all the New York City teams. But Coach, what's good with you, man? How you feeling tonight, brother?
Just hanging in there, man. That's about it.
Just hanging in there, man. I hear you, man. I hear you. Right now, on the scoreboard, we got the Mets, man. The Mets are up 6-0, bottom of the 6. Brandon Nimmo at bat. They're up over the Washington Nationals. So New York Mets. Looks like the Yankees are making a little bit of a comeback here. Now the score is 4-3 in the top of the 7th over Tampa Bay. Yankees losing, that is, against Tampa Bay. So I don't think there's a Liberty game tonight, Coach. Am I correct on that?
No, it's tomorrow at 11 a.m. against Connecticut for first place in the league.
Okay, cool. So no Liberty, of course, no football, no basketball, no hockey. So we're gonna get straight into the content, man. Who we got in the chat? Kurum, what's good with you, man? Peace, man. Grimace, yeah. The Mets have been dominating since Grimace. And if y'all don't know who Grimace is, it is the McDonald's character.
Mm-hmm.
The big blue McDonald's character named Grimace. And I'll show you guys what he looks like. You know,
not sure what it must look like.
And then Man Cave shows up.
Cause this is what the Mets are banking on, y'all. This dude right here.
Man, that's crazy.
Grimace. Yeah.
That's a good luck charm.
That's their good luck charm. This cat. Where is he at? Grimace. You got French right here, some braces.
Facts.
So, but yeah, so the Mets have been doing good since he pulled up in the building. But Cave, what's good with you, man? Of course, you got your annual troll in the building, D Brown, aka Coach Dave, says 1946, which is I ain't
Oh,
gonna talk about it right now, but
that's Coach Dave right there.
yeah, he's Coach Dave. In case you don't know, D
Oh,
Brown, he's the same guy. But yeah, what's good with you, man? Cave, what's up,
what's
man?
good, fellas, man? It's just joining in, man. See what you guys talking about, man. Heart of the city tonight.
Facts,
I
man.
know. I don't want to talk about them, the Yankees, man. I'm like, sheesh.
Whew. Yeah, the Yankees are mounting a little bit of a comeback now. It's 4-3. Let me put the scores up there, man. But I want you guys to talk about this topic. Now it was the Giants, I think Giants.com, they voted on the top 100 New York Giants players. And we got Hard Knocks coming up here in a few minutes. We're gonna talk about that too. So y'all stay tuned. But we're gonna start off the show with the Saquon Barkley deal, and because he got voted in the top 100, and he was voted 95th amongst Giants players. And some people, say he shouldn't be up there. Some people say he should be higher, and some people, like myself, have a problem with him being not just on the list, but over Hakeem Nicks, who was 97th on the list. So, should Saquon Barkley be in the top 100 of all-time Giants? Cave, I'm gonna start off with you. What you think? Your initial reaction?
First of all, let me say shout out to everybody on the panel, man. Coach, you know what I'm saying? Big Pat, you know what I'm saying? Unpopular, man. Thank you guys for having me on here, man. Yeah, when I looked at that list, seen Saquon on there, number 95. At first I was, saying over Hakeem now, but I mean, he is going to be on the list at some point, though. He is one of the 100 players, the best players in the Giants, though. Even though, I mean, he had some lot of losing seasons, but he was one of the best backs. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, saying at 95. Now, if he was like at like 30 or 40, I'd be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But he's like towards the end of towards the back anyway. He's 5 off the list. So, I don't really have a problem much with it, you know what I'm saying? Because he's at the back end of the list. You know what I mean? Because if you do look at Giants history, at some point, like 10, 20 years from now, they're going to show Saquon Barkley highlights and stuff like that anyway, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, they'll show us highlights, but that definitely don't mean he's an all-time great.
But 100 plays, like 100 is like it's a lot of players anyway. 100.
So let me read you. Matter of fact, man, we don't do this shit on Heart of the City. We show and tell, bro. Fuck that. We're gonna show you what the hell I'm talking about, because y'all be saying I don't use my words properly and shit. So we're gonna go ahead and throw it up on the screen for you. How about that?
Coach Dave, dude, crazy. For the Giants haven't been a franchise that's been rich in talent like that. Crazy.
Yeah, but we talking about the top 100 players, and Saquon Barkley couldn't even crack the top 50. Anyway, Rich Seibert, Brad Benson, Eddie Pitts, Hakeem Nicks. I think Hakeem Nicks should be higher. So they got Willie Williams, Saquon Barkley. There he is, number 95. Eric Howard, Terry Kinyard. Got Lawrence Tynes up there, and who that is Daryl Dess.
Yeah.
Dees. Okay. So I guess that's all they got for right now. But yeah, there he is, Saquon Barkley. Should he even be on the list? Talk about it, Pat.
If he does make the list, he's right where he probably needs to be, because he's not even. I know I could name many running backs that were ahead of that's ahead of him. To be honest with you, no, he should not be higher on the list, and that's why I don't pay attention to Twitter guys, the Giants haven't been a franchise that's been rich in talent like that. You crazy as I don't know what, bro. Are you sick in the head? We got over 100 years of history, my dude. Check, I mean, Hall of Famers and stuff we got. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
He's not better than Otis Anderson because Coach just pointed that out to me. He's not better than Joe Morris. He's not better than Rodney Hampton. He's not better than Tiki. And I guarantee there's a couple of running backs in the 40s and 50s that he's probably not even better than.
I'm taking Bradshaw over him. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm taking Bradshaw and Jacobs over him too.
Facts.
Shit, they got 2 Super Bowls and they got 1,000-yard seasons under their belts too.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, he wouldn't even have been better than Wilson if he didn't get hurt.
Man, that dude was gonna be a star, yo.
Yeah, that dude was gonna be a monster.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not better than Hakeem Nicks. That's already on the list. I don't know how Hakeem Nicks is 95, but he's not better than Nicks. Not better than Toomer. In my eyes, he wasn't better than Shockey. He's not better than Plex. He's not better than Victor Cruz. I maybe would put him over Mario Manningham, but at least Manningham got a Super Bowl and he had a Super Bowl moment.
Mario Manningham.
Yeah, bro.
He's not better than Phil Simms or Eli Manning. All those offensive lines, all those defensive lines that we had, he's not better than
right.
Them. He's not a better Giant than Kiwanuka or JPP or Strahan or Taylor or Banks or Carson or Marshall. Like, come on, bro. We got a illustrious history. OC, all those defensive tackles.
You just talking about the running backs that did it for me, bro. Like, for real. Like, because now I'm looking at it, man. He is 6th in touchdowns. Under Jacobs, Barber, Hampton, Morris, Alec Webster, and he's tied with Otis Anderson. As the troll put in the chat, he's 4th in yards, but Brandon, he's only a few yards ahead of Brandon Jacobs. Joe Morris
has to share time with Bradshaw his whole career.
Joe Morris, Rodney Hampton, and Tiki Barber are over him. Yards per rushing attempt. I'm about to scroll down for this one.
And he's not better than Kiwanuka. Kiwanuka meant more to this team than Barkley did. Kiwanuka got 2 Super Bowls with this team.
Mm-hmm. So he's not over Tiki. He's not over Bradshaw with yards per attempt. He's not over Jacobs. He's not over David Wilson or Dave Meggett. But you know, they might be more considered. That dude he's tied with Frank Gifford, Wayne Gallman, and New Orleans.
Shit, he's not better than Frank Gifford.
As far as yards per attempt, you know, and I don't want to hear anything about the offensive line because the offensive line don't matter because the quarterback makes the offensive line. So, yeah, I'm not playing with these idiots, man. I'm sick of y'all, bro. And
I'll be right back, man.
Saquon Barkley, though. Yeah, Saquon Barkley, though, is not. I don't think he's a top 100 player.
But like I said, but the argument is going to be made. He was the face of the franchise when he was here. You know, from the media and all that stuff, they was like, you know, he was the face of the franchise. You know, people watch the Giants to watch Saquon Barkley. He was the show, things like that. And, you know, they're going to make the argument, you know what I'm saying? He played behind a terrible line while he was here.
Yeah.
So that's what they're going to make the argument. They're going to make the argument because they're going to say, if you put a better line or give him the line that Bradshaw and those guys ran behind and those other running backs, and how would he do if he ran behind those lines? That's what the argument they're going to make. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they told me that the Giants offensive line was some shit in 2011. You know, I've had all these guys put stats up there. Stats.
Yeah.
And then when you drop some common sense on these dudes, they don't know how to fucking act. So again, tell me what's the problem? Because as far as I'm concerned, some of these other Giants running backs had to deal with bad offensive lines too. So y'all don't give that excuse for the quarterback, but now you want to give the excuse for the running back, right? Get out of here. Again, Talk to your boy, man. NYG22, man. It's heart of the city, man. But
Yeah,
coach,
I'm about to help us out. I mean, a lot of them guys who's ranked in top hundreds, they're gonna be ranked like they're gonna be like the older Giants from in the past and stuff like that. Majority of them, I believe, when they do the rankings.
but yeah, coach, talk to me, coach, man. Do you think Saquon Barkley should be in there in the top 100 Giants of all time?
Yes.
Okay, elaborate. You
I
there?
mean, yeah, I'm here. I mean, you broke down all his stats, man. I mean, the stats. If you go based off that, the impact that he had and the importance that he had, I'm just going to be honest, man. Because if he had went to the Houston Texans, this hate for him wouldn't be there. I'm sorry. People are in their emotions, and I understand it. And you're entitled to feel the way you want to feel. But if you just take that out and you look at the facts and what he did for this franchise, to say no, he doesn't. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion. I disagree with it. Does he belong on there? Yes. If you want to say he wants to be in the top, even in the top 80, okay, you can make an argument for it. I understand the arguments, but to say no, he's not. Okay, I just disagree with
Nah,
that. I believe it.
I never
No,
said
and
he
I'm not
wasn't.
saying. I'm not saying you, Pat. I'm just
No,
saying.
I said it. Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
and here,
NYG's
listen.
no.
No, it's not.
Like you said,
It's not
coach.
just you,
I remember.
NYG.
Yeah, I
It's
remember you
not
saying this
just
though.
you. It's what I'm saying is to those fans who say he does. It's not just you. So please,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not singling you out. I'm
Oh
talking
no,
in
it's okay
general
if you
to
are. I mean,
yes,
I said it. I'm not gonna
yeah.
back down for what I say.
No, 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 and
I'm
then
not.
that's fine.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not
just
one of those
saying.
players. Not one of those
I
people.
just feel personally it's about because if he went to the Houston Texans, and that's what I hear. Oh, and I've heard it from several fans, and at least they're honest about it. I wouldn't have any problems if he went to the Houston, but because he went to the Eagles, that's why. And that's where a lot and some fans won't be honest and admit that. And that's really what it boils down to. If you take that out of the equation and you just look at when he was here, what he did for this organization, how he carried himself on and off the field. You want to talk about the stats? Look at his stats. Just go based off of that. Now, I'm not even talking about Hakeem Nicks. I'm not even debating, going to argue that. Should Hakeem Nicks be higher up? Okay, you can make an argument for that. I'm just focused. I'm compartmentalizing and focus only on the Saquon Barkley being on the list part. That's it. Nothing else. Does he deserve, in my personal opinion? Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm. He definitely deserves to be in the top 100. I think he's around where he needs to be. He's between 85 and 100 where I would put Saquon Barkley. Now, I'm not going to act like he didn't do anything on this team, but there's a lot of players on this team in the Giants' history that I put above Saquon Barkley. It's not because he went to the Eagles. I won't give a shit if he would have went to the Cowboys. He's a top 100 Giant for sure. But if you base the list, I could choose about 4 to 5 running backs that I would choose over Saquon Barkley. So that's why I have him around the 80 to 95 range. But to say he doesn't make the list, I mean, shit, it came real close. But there's a lot of Giants that probably won't even make this list that I got a lot of high regard for. Someone like Kiwanuka. I do believe that he was a better Giant than Saquon Barkley. That dude meant a lot for us. That dude did a lot for this team. Now, he might not have the name of somebody like a Saquon Barkley, but some of those guys, those dudes put in the work. Like somebody like Ike Hilliard before he got hurt. He was a monster before he got hurt. And a lot of people are going to look over people like that. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't have no hate towards the dude. I want him to get his head knocked off because now he's an Eagle. But that's the only reason.
That's exactly. That he's on the other side.
Him as a person, yeah, he was what the Giants needed him to be as a person off the field and on the field. So You can't take that away from him. He's just an Eagle, so I don't like him now.
Exactly. That's fair. That's me personally. I don't have an issue with that. You know, in the end, I look at it. The
2
players are
games after the year, I'm not gonna cheer for him. That's it.
yeah. And I always, and me personally, just for me, I just look at players as assets. It's cold hearted how I'm putting it, but they're assets to this organization. When you're here, how do you handle yourself? How do you represent this organization? How do you produce on the field? That's it. What you do when you leave this organization, I don't care. I don't care if you go to anybody in the division. I don't care. Because now you're on the other side. But I'm not going to hate you or nothing. They're assets, and they should go out and get all the money that they can because their playing time is very short. It's very short, man. It's shorter than every other sport that's out there, except from I don't know about hockey. I can't speak to hockey, but if you look at all baseball, basketball, in comparison to football, their shelf life is very short. So go out and get as much money as you can. Whoever is going to give it to you, I don't care. It's a business. And to the teams and to the ownership, to the management, it's a business. You got to manage that cap and you got to manage a business. That's it. But I get fans, I understand. You're mostly invested. You only care about your team, and rightfully so. You should do that. Me, I'm just different in terms of how I look at things.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So they breaking down the draft prospects on Hard Knocks now. Just to let you guys know, they were talking about Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze. It's on HBO right now.
Yeah, just
I got HBO Max and it ain't let me see it.
It's on it's on HBO, like HBO.
Oh, HBO. Okay, so Max
it
puts it on
Max
there after.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm on the road now, so I got a little access to it. So I was peeping it. But yeah, they got they're talking about all the prospects right now, breaking down like Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, Rome Odunze, and all the quarterbacks. So good stuff right there, man. But as far as Saquon, let me stop the screen share. As far as Saquon Barkley is concerned, again, man, I don't think he's done enough in my eyes. I don't see him as a great Giant just because, like, we can talk about like stats and accolades and different things like that, man. And there's always been talent, like we said, at the running back position with the New York Giants. But to me, and now you don't even have really the longevity because I mean you dipping out after 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't have that attachment to Saquon Barkley like a lot of people have. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I did buy his jersey. I'm not gonna lie, but again, my attachment is to the New York Giants. It's not to these players. And that's where I did it. But a lot of people, talk shit about me or whatever because, oh, why are you bashing the play? I'm like, look, bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to take a business approach to a lot of things that I do. And, me and Coach go back and forth to a lot of others, man. But I see the business side of it. And it didn't make no sense to pay Saquon Barkley. You know what I'm saying? And then now we're up here talking about he's a great Giant, and then people are caping for this dude like he's an all-time great or whatever. I mean, if that's your opinion, I can't really fault it. I mean, because a lot of people have an attachment to Saquon Barkley, man. But I've seen a lot of other great Giants, man, come through this building.
Just to back you up on that, I'm basing this list on like impact that they had for the team. Towards winning. Like with Saquon Barkley, we only had one winning season while he was here. So I'm basing it like impact. Like Brandon Jacobs and Bradshaw had a bigger impact for the Giants because they got us 2 rings. Joe Morris had a bigger impact. He got us a ring. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that, like impact. Like you can laugh about Matthias Kiwanuka, but that dude was a pivotal part to that defensive line. I don't care what nobody says. And and 2 Super Bowls. That dude came off the bench. He came off the bench and got 8 sacks while he was laughing about his 8 sacks. That man came off the bench and got 8 sacks with people like Strahan, O.C. Umenyiora, JPP out there. All those defensive tackles that we had. And he was a pinch hitter that got 8 sacks. So imagine if you went to a team and was the starter. He probably would have had more than one season with 8 sacks. He would have had I know he only did it once because he was a third string guy because he was behind monsters, Justin Tuck, all those people, and he still had an impact. So imagine if he was a starter somewhere, he probably would have had multiple seasons with 8+ sacks.
But you know what? I look at the Saquon and the Daniel Jones years like I look at the Knicks. They've been a dumpster fire by the front office. They just been on the team at the wrong time. That's how I look at it.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't blame
them.
Yeah, I know, but you can't blame the players for coming into situations by, from a front office like a dumpster fire and not knowing what to do, how to put a team together. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's how I look at their thing. I feel bad for both of them dudes, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, they came in at a bad time. Now we finally getting some people in the front office that could do some things, turn around, you know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is.
But if you said it was Daniel Jones, they wouldn't give a damn. And he's been through the same thing.
I know, but
Daniel Jones to create a miracle. Why can't Saquon Barkley?
Breaking news. Joe Shane does watch Twitter.
What happened?
Joe Shane and the Giants follow Twitter.
Oh, you talking about on Hard Knock?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we gotta go on Twitter.
They got a guy on there that literally just watches the Twitter and just tells them everything they're talking about. I told you, motherfuckers, they listen. Y'all hit that goddamn like button. Shit.
Right, man. Twitter start firing off, man.
Bro, they listening to YouTube. I don't even have to say that. Bruh.
I just base it on a lot of factors, but I wouldn't never say that he's not a top Giant, at least top 100. Now, if they said top 50 or top 30, he definitely wouldn't make that list for me. But top 100, yeah, he's always gonna make a top 100 list.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. But let's talk about Mikal Bridges real quick. Of course, he had his intro presser. He's number 1. I put on Twitter it should be 67. 67th best player on the team, but
funny. That was nice.
Yeah. But anyway, man, he's introduced as a Knick today, so a lot of people saying Nets fans are salty and yada yada yada, and he's saying everybody had a bad year when in regards he's the one that had the bad year. But what are your thoughts? And I'm gonna shoot this one over to Man Cave and Coach because these are the Knicks fans. What are your thoughts on Mikal Bridges' vibe and what you think he's gonna bring to your team?
I mean, for me, like you said, I mean, he's a 6 or 7 option, which, for us, we just need him to be a third or fourth option or something like that. We don't need him to be the man, you know what I'm saying, just to do his defensive things and stuff like that, and, pick up the opponent's best players, you know what I'm saying, at that wing position. You know what I'm saying? It's like he fits our team to like what we need him to do. We don't need him to be like.
I see y'all in the chat too. Ghost, Iman, Coach Dave. I'm not sending the link out tonight, bro. Not doing that. You can type in the chat all you want. I don't care. Ghost, what's good with you, man? Peace and salute, bro. Appreciate you tapping in. Iman, see you. Raphael, what's good, man? Appreciate you, man. But yeah, y'all go ahead. I'm multitasking, fellas. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to peep on this Hard Knock shit. I got some work shit I got to do. So
yeah, but like I said, I mean, for us, it's gonna work for us compared to like you guys. You guys needed him to be like the man on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like he was the player that was sent to the Durant trade. That y'all was gonna build around. But like I said, he's not that number 1 player. I've been knew that even when he was in Phoenix, because he played his role real well as a 3rd or 4th option over there, and that's what he did better. That's what he did best. So for him coming to us, where the pressure won't be on him to be the man, which is a great thing for us. We just need him to lock down players and to be a playmaker, make shots here and there, things like that. That's what we really need him for, like how OG Anunoby is for us. You know what I'm saying? So now we got like 2 wing defenders that can guard, like, you know, guards and point guards, shooting guards, whoever we need to lock down or, you know, slow down. That's what we need. So, I mean, he worked out great for us.
You see what I'm saying? Not to get off of the Nets thing,
Right.
but they did everything they could to waste Saquon's career. I'm glad he's moving on and has a chance to win something. But Daniel Jones, that went through the same situation, is even worse for him because he has to depend on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's supposed to create a miracle. It's crazy. It's based on who you like. It's based on clout. Because if you can say that about Saquon Barkley, you got to say the same thing about Daniel Jones. You got to say the same thing about Slayton, Andrew Thomas. You know what I'm saying? They came in the same times. Hell, Daniel Jones, I think Daniel Jones came in before all of them.
He came right after Saquon. Right after Saquon the next year.
Yeah, right after Saquon. And he came right before Andrew Thomas.
Been playing in the same mess.
So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Could Barkley have better stats and everything if he wasn't on the Giants? More than likely, yes. Same thing you can say for everybody else.
Mm-hmm. So they running down kind of they was kind of going through plays with Caleb Williams, Drake May, they got JJ McCarthy, they got what's my man's name, Jaden Daniels. So they going through different plays right now. Him and Joe Shannon in the room. They was, you know, doing his coach thing or whatever, saying, hey, flip the play. What is it? You know what I'm saying? Take this out, put this in. What you gonna call now? Kind of doing that type thing, sort of a test.
Something bad to say about that too
for the quarterbacks. Oh, this gonna be it's a lot going on in this one so far.
I had seen somebody post a clip when they was doing it to Jaden Daniels. Oh, that's why Brian Dable's not going to be a coach next year because he's doing this with Jaden Daniels. Something that they do with every quarterback, but okay.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. All right. but yeah, man. Back to Mikal, man. Look, good thing for the Nets. You know what I'm saying, man? Because again, like I said, I didn't want to have to pay Mikal Bridges number 1 type money or even number 2 type money. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not that guy. Mm-hmm. You know, he's not that guy. And this dude, you know, came into the Nets organization on some faking jacks type stuff, on some sucker stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the one that, you know, wanted to be the starter team with the Brooklyn Bridges and all this other stuff. Nets fan getting hyped up about this dude. And what was his plan the whole time? To dip and go to the Knicks. I don't respect that. People say that same thing about Saquon Barkley. I think Mikal Bridges is a bigger sucker than Saquon Barkley, to be honest with you, because at least Saquon Barkley did a little something. At least he put a, you know, at least Saquon Barkley, I will say he performed. You know what I'm saying? When he could. You know what I mean? I'm not going to kill the guy like that. I'm gonna talk shit about him because he's an Eagle right now. When it's all said and done, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll lighten my stance, but fuck you right now. You're an Eagle. You know what I'm saying? So,
NYG, I keep telling you, it wasn't his choice to get traded to the Nets, though. They traded him. He didn't sign with the Nets. They traded him. So they went against his, not against his wishes, but
it was his choice when he asked for that goddamn trade. And I don't care what Sean Marks says. Sean Marks tried to protect.
So why would the general manager of the Nets say that to someone who went to another team? That makes no sense. Yeah. That makes no sense. Why is he going to cover for him now?
It makes him look bad that he bought in a player, and then a year later, the motherfucker asked for a trade. It makes you look bad as a general manager. You're the one traded for this dude, man. Kev said,
Exactly. You traded for him, but you said he wanted to come to the Nets and be the number 1. No, he did not.
Yeah, he didn't want to come to the Nets. They just traded him. They just traded him there.
He's the victim, man.
No, he's not the victim.
He's not a victim. They traded him there because the KD wanted out.
I say this is a business. This is a business. I get the emotional attachment and the defending of the team of your particular teams, but to say that this player wanted to come to the Nets to be the number 1 option. That's the first thing you said. Not that the Nets wanted to get
No, you talking about when he's getting traded. No play. He didn't even know he was going to get traded. I'm saying when he got there, he embraced that shit. He
had no other choice.
What you mean he didn't have a choice? He did have a choice. You know what I'm saying?
So if the Nets say
you're acting like what he got from the Nets and the way he benefited, it was all him and Brooklyn didn't have nothing to do with that.
That's not what I'm saying.
To get where he wanted to go. That's the point.
How did he use the Nets? Explain to me how he used coming from Phoenix.
Started building a brand in New York. He already started talking to Brunson and all of them on the team. They was already scheming on that.
They've
been doing it. I showed you the clips in my video. They was already on that. They was already scheming to be a tandem, a Nova Knicks.
But the Nets have to, whether that you feel that they were quote unquote scheming, the Nets are the one that have to execute that. The Nets could have sent him somewhere else.
Sure could have.
You're right. They could have. And again, I'm not a Sean Marks defender at all.
But NYG, let me ask you a question though. With Mikal, did you want Mikal back on the Nets, or you rather the draft picks to get Cooper Flag?
I kind of wanted him gone. I ain't gonna front.
Okay.
I wanted him gone. And we had talked about this on the podcast. Coach, I have been alluding to this for a while. I said the Nets needed to pick between Cam Thomas and Mikal Bridges. You know what I'm saying? And my unpopular opinion, I'm gonna go with the younger player who I think has the more upside as an offensive player. You know what I'm saying?
And the Knicks helped y'all out real. I mean, they gave you all the draft picks. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad at the Knicks. Knicks fans think I'm mad. I'm pissed at Mikal Bridges because I don't like sucker ass players. I don't like niggas like him, Kevin Durant, Saquon Barkley. I don't like that smile in my face, stab me in the back type fucking mentality. Fuck you.
All right. You're entitled to feel. I disagree with you. I don't see. I see Mikal
Some
Bridges
players don't do that. They was just on there talking about Xavier McKinney. Joe Shane was just on there. I love to have McKinney back. I feel that same sentiment. I don't have that same issue with McKinney. It's Saquon Barkley, the way he acted, and to go to the Eagles and then kiki ha ha, kind of.
Now that's
on the Giants. Now I don't like.
So,
that,
but if he went to Houston, but Saquon is a free agent. So, and I get your some of your argument, but if Saquon went to Houston, the vitriol wouldn't be where it is, and that's the issue. That's exactly
right.
Yeah, but the thing about it is they gave Saquon a deal where Xavier McKinney they never offered him a deal. So you know what I'm saying. So Xavier McKinney left.
Well, I don't know. I might not want to say that right now.
That type of deal like that, you know what I'm saying?
They have been, they mentioned it. I tried to eavesdrop a little bit, and they mentioned it, and they were saying something about McKinney and Joe Shane was saying, I'm paraphrasing, alluding to something like he wanted McKinney back. He liked X or whatever. Pretty much what he said in what he told us in his press conferences. You know what I'm saying? So they were high on McKinney. It just did work out financially, but I know he didn't want Barkley back. That's
okay.
So
to answer your question, Nets fans are mad. So some Nets fans are mad about him. About Mikal Bridges wanting to be a Knick. That's what you're mad about. You ain't mad about the picks. You just mad about him. You know what I'm saying? Just that's all you mad at.
Yeah. Okay. Are you look, bro? Let me put it like this, man. And I'm gonna pause and say no homo and all that good stuff, man. Before Lou come out the woodworks.
I know, man.
But look, it's like your girl. It's like when if you and your girl break up, are you going to be more upset if she's dating like I don't know, a lawyer in Minnesota, or are you going to be more upset if she dating your man's around the corner? Like,
right. I get you.
I understand the point, and I get where you're going, but to say that in other words, what I'm interpreting your anger is because you're saying he manipulated everything to go to the Knicks. He had this intended. And what I'm saying is, so I understand what your point is. What I'm saying is you're wrong in that regard, because whether he wanted to go there or not, he has no control over that. So, and if he did not go to Sean Marks and say, "I want to go to the Knicks," then
pretty much.
Well, there was a report out there, fellas, that he actually went to him and said,
Yeah, that's
"Trade
what
me
I'm
to the
trying to
Knicks because I'm not going to sign with you guys, and I'm going to just sign with the Knicks in free agency."
So then,
That's
why
what he
would
said.
Sean Marks? Why would Sean Marks come out after the fact?
Now
Just
that I have no clue.
And I tried to tell you because he doesn't want to look like the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to say, okay, I traded for Mikal Bridges. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be here, but we just got an offer we couldn't refuse. As opposed to him selling the fan base is like, he came and asked for a trade, and I said, okay. Like he looks dumber in that situation, I think.
Damn, Yankees lose again.
Man, fucking team, bro. Yeah, Iman. I think it's a boom thing, bro. We've been talking about this for years too. Another thorn in the side of you know what I'm saying, New York fans. Aaron Boone, man. Like when is this shit gonna stop? Oh shit! Now they talking to Jerome Henderson. Damn, this what the hell?
TV coach.
Yeah, that's my dog, man. I've been talking about Jerome Henderson for a while now. I think he's one of the best defensive coaches in the league. But nah, man, it's Aaron Boone, man, with this Yankees team. Aaron Boone is man, he can't get out his own way. And then of course, like I always talk about the pitching, our pitching is not up to par. Our pitching is not up to par because hitting is going to be look, you only succeed in baseball 30 to like 30% of the time. You know what I'm saying? It's a low ratio. Like, in football, you complete over 50% of your shots and I mean, in football, you complete over 50%, 60% of your passes. In basketball, you complete over 50% of your shots. And in baseball, it's just a real low percentage. You know what I'm saying? That you can make contact with the baseball. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, okay, Aaron Boone, why is it that we don't put our hitters in like now? So they got this Ben Rice kid, that's coming up. But I just don't know why Aaron Boone doesn't, like, he's overthinking this thing when it because I seen it was a dude from the Reds, man. He's like going crazy, like as far as stealing base. It's De La Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Ella De La Cruz, and he's going crazy with stealing bases. And I'm like, you got Volpe, like you got some speed, man. They don't use, like, they don't play small ball. Pause. You know what I'm saying? They don't have none of that, no aspect of small ball.
That's not just Boone. That's also Cashman.
That's
Cashman and how Cashman constructed this team to basically be a power hitting team and get away from the basic fundamentals of baseball, which has always been, yes, you do incorporate home run. But yes, your contact, you got to move the players over. And the rules now make it so, to be brutally honest, it should be easy to steal bases because the pitchers can only go over to first base, 2 times? And then the third time you have to either try no, is it 3 times? I'm sorry. I think it's 3 times.
Yeah.
So after that,
with the L tonight, he's now 9-7. This dude is trash too. He gets Rodon.
Oh shoot, he's been getting
so in terms of Cashman and the construction, in his quote unquote reliance on analytics, and y'all have heard me complain about the analytics age. The point being is, when are you always going to have a feel for the game? Sometimes you have to do the hit and run and so on and so forth. So it's crazy in terms of the way this team is constructed, the way this organization wants to be a
Mm.
power hitting team and use the
They struck out
fastball.
10 times tonight, coach. The
Yeah.
Rays, I'm looking at, they had 10 strikeouts. And it's a lot of swing and miss stuff, man.
They just did someone Ken Griffey Jr. There was a video, I think I tweeted it, where he talked about hitting, and he even talked about the shift. He said that the shift is for when they're doing ground ball hitting, but the shift is not going to affect any line drives, and it's going to force certain players to get out of the way at certain times. And he even talked about when he comes up to the plate, how he touches the base. This is also for his plate coverage and how you go into the mechanics of hitting, which I've always said Ken Griffey Jr. is one of, for me, one of the greatest hitters I've ever seen in my life. And I'm a Don Mattingly. I love Don Mattingly and the way he hit and played.
Mm-hmm.
But Ken Griffey Jr., the way he hit, his mechanics, the way he could cover the plate, it was hard to really strike him out. It really was. And we don't have that type of hitting. Everyone wants to hit home runs, and they want to hit monster home runs and these big 450 home runs. I don't care if it's 450 or 375. It's one run unless you have men on base. It's just one run. So what happened to the rest of the fundamentals of hitting away? Derek Jeter was always great at that. Always great at that. And I'll go back and power hitters that I've watched. Dave Winfield, love Dave Winfield. He could hit away. He could hit the opposite direction as well as your home runs, as well as run. And if for a big guy, he will steal. What happened to the game of baseball where it has lost that? And all of this comes back to, some of it is the analytics. Everyone worrying about the home run or the pitchers throwing 100 miles an hour. Greg Maddux was not 100 mile an hour. He pitched the corners. He pitched up, he pitched down, inside, outside, because he knows hitting is hard to do, and because most hitters, it's hard for them to hit a baseball. But no, you. Never mind. Let me shut up because I'm starting to get sick, man.
No, man. Yeah, because I was watching the game the other day, man. They had runners on first and second, and man, they couldn't even it's just timely hitting, man. Hitting, they was striking out, then it was popping the ball in the infield. I'm like, come on, bro, hit it to the outfield, man. Get these runners over.
Miz, what's good, Miz? Appreciate you tapping in, bro.
That's a great point, man. Okay, first and second, nobody out. Come on, man. Bunt.
Yeah, right.
That's the basic principle right there. That's a situation where you have to bunt, but no, you want to try and hit the home run. And that's an organizational type of dealing, and that's a problem for me. And baseball as a whole, that's what you're going for. And I get you want to try and draw fans in, and young kids today are bored, and the only way to get them to come in is to give them the home runs. But you still have to teach them some of the basic foundational points, man. You really do, and it's lost, man. It's just lost, because I grew up, all of that, man, stealing, all of that. That was all I used. Ricky Henderson, one of the greatest hitters, stealers of the base, man. I used to love watching Ozzie Smith with the Cardinals, man. I used to love watching him when he was on the base. And then the runners, the distraction that you can do to the pitcher, where you now can allow your teammate, because he's so distracted, to get a hit sometimes. It's go ahead, bro.
I know, man. I know.
Yeah, nah, man. You right, coach, man. It's about the fundamentals, man. And it's like that in all the sports that we talk about. You know what I'm saying? You talk about the women's game a lot of times and how you like it, man, because they're more fundamental. And we have to understand, you know what I'm saying, the fundamental aspects of the sport that we're talking about, and how important it really is, man. Because like you said, coach, man, the Yankees ain't gonna be good until they get back to how they played in those early 90s, late 90s, early 2000 era. You know what I'm saying? When he had Jeter, Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez, Paul O'Neill, you know, some of these other guys, man, that would, you know, play that type game. You know what I'm saying? They would get those clutch hits, those bunts, those stolen bases. You know what I'm saying? And the Yankees just don't have any of that.
They need
Like,
some contact hitters. They need contact.
they don't have no type of contact hitters at all. It seemed like,
think about the Yankees in that area you're talking about. One guy who left Boston to come for us was one of the great contact hitters, Wade Boggs. I used to hate him with Boston, but I loved him with the Yankees. Right. Why? Because he was such a great contact hitter, you know, such a great contact hitter, and helped everyone else on the team, you know, with his contact, just sometimes hitting away because, and he could read what that's the other thing. He could read what the defense is doing, how they're shifting. And it also told him what pitches is coming too. Like, that's the thing that you don't see where, you know, okay, now they do this shift all the way over. Okay, so you pretty much know where they're trying to pitch the ball. That's where they're pitching to the shift, you know. But a guy like Wade Boggs, you couldn't do that to him because what would he do? Okay, just because you're doing that, I'm gonna if I'm gonna pull it, I'll pull it and hit it opposite the shift. You know, and it's just little things like that where that makes you that much better of a hitter overall. You know, if you were just usually if you're a home run hitter, you're a high strikeout hitter. I mean, high strikeout batter.
Wasn't they talking about taking that away, the shifting, and also because I'm back in the day, it wasn't really too much shifting back then like it is now, man. It's crazy now.
No, in the 90s, early 2000s, yeah, it wasn't a lot of shifting. It wasn't. So
they need to take that. I think they were talking about taking it away, but I guess they never did.
I don't know. I mean, it just takes away for me the beauty of the game of baseball.
Right.
You know, so and yes, I'm an old fogey, so yeah, call me an old fogey.
You're right?
It's just some things with baseball, you just, you know, there's some things I get that you want to adjust, but for the most part, if you just leave it the same and leave it where it is, it's perfect the way it is.
What's going on, Leaf?
What's up, Leaf?
Saw that question on there.
Yeah, so. But yeah, I pitching. I wish, you know, you had pitchers who could really paint the corners, man. And everyone's afraid to, you know. I remember Gibson pitching where he would pitch you inside. Yeah, you pitch him inside because you want to push them off of the plate because that allows you to get to the other side of the plate. Because sometimes the batter's gonna step back, and now you can attack the other side of the plate. And that expands your pitching abilities, and it expands the plate for you. That's what they talk about, expanding the plate. Pitch inside, because now the batters most batters, 99% of the batters are going to back up some. Now, true hitters are going to squeeze the plate because what are they saying? Okay, I'm going to squeeze down. So even if you do pitch inside, you're chancing that you're going to hit me and you're putting me on base. And depending on the situation, you may not want to do that. You know, so because a guy like Ken Griffey Jr., yeah, you couldn't do that to him. You pitch him inside, he's going to squeeze down the plate because now he wants you to, and more than likely you're going to make that mistake, and he's either going to get a critical hit or then he'll put it out of the ballpark.
Turn on it real quick, on it real quick.
Exactly. I mean, he had good movement. His hands, the way he could move him in and out, extend, keep him inside, rotate, roll his wrist, you know, with it, and it's just his swing is just so beautiful. It looks just so smooth, man. Yeah, it's like it was almost like taking a hot knife and putting it right through butter, man. It just the way he's. Man, you just don't understand how much I loved his swing, man. And then if you go to a game, yeah, I've seen him live. He interacted with fans. You know, even if you're a Yankees fan, I mean, there's times he'll give you the finger.
I'm gonna send you the invite, Leaf. My bad. I was like I said, I'm multitasking. But yeah, I got you, brother. Yeah, we're gonna kick up the conversation here in a minute.
Hey, fellas, I gotta go for a second. I'll be back in a little bit. Give me a second.
Oh, don't leave yet, man, because I got some nuggets.
Oh, yes.
Hey, but he's cooking, man. He said he's cooking, so I get it.
I know, I get it. I was fucking with him. Go ahead, bro. We'll be here.
All right, I'll be back in like 20 minutes.
All right.
But yeah, let me send Leaf Diggy the invite. But yeah, again, man, I don't know what's going on. This Yankees team is it's rough, man. They
I
just
know it's very frustrating, especially
it's
what makes
frustrating.
what makes it more frustrating in NYG is the start of the season to where they are now.
Right, they were doing so well,
and then to just totally
Like the wheels don't fell off.
yes, and I'm going to be honest with you, okay? 9 times out of 10, something happened in the locker room.
Yeah.
Something happened in the locker room that now the team is divided or something. I really don't know, but that's just from my experience as a coach, as a player.
Yeah.
Things like you don't fall off just like that. And they've had some injuries, and it's not like, okay, you've had major injuries to all your key players, then I could rationalize it. But you still have a lot of your key players still there, and it's like, what the hell? What's going on? Why is this team, since June, I think they've only had 4 or 5 wins in total.
Yeah, man. They're like, I know it was 14. They lost out of 16, and then I think it's probably like, because I think they won one, so it's probably like 15 out of 17 now since they lost again tonight. So yeah, it's been bad, man. But shout out to Jacob Leaf, you in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Big fan Breezy is on his way as well. Iman in the building, of course.
Jacob,
Everybody,
I
man.
will say this.
Cooking, man.
They may be big injuries. When I say, I'm talking about, a large facet of injuries. Yes, they're big injuries, but you're talking about 2 players. What I'm saying in a locker room.
And I see, the thing about it is Stanton. I understand, but we shouldn't miss Stanton that much, given the hitters that we got.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No.
But the pitching is what's killing us right now.
Yeah.
For me,
what I'm saying is Schmidt that big that you're going to end up
he's not
losing this many games? So that's what I'm saying. Something in the culture, something in the locker room it leaves me feeling that got players now are having to pick sides.
He's Stanton is playing better. Jacob, but again,
you're missing what I'm saying, Jacob.
We got real quick, coach. We got Soto. Yeah. We have Judge. We have this kid Ben Rice now, who broke a Yankees record, had 3 home runs in 1 game as a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So we have Volpe. You know what I'm saying? So we still got guys in there. It's just it's not gelling. And yeah, he is missed. He is missed, but
yeah. But the thing about it, it's not so much the home run and not long. It's just the contact hitting and timely hitting. That's what we need. It's not so much the home run ball.
Yeah.
Look, Jacob.
We on basketball right now. So I'm not, unless you want to talk some basketball, which you probably don't. So yeah, we baseball, basketball. We don't just talk about Daniel Jones and the Giants all day over here. So go ahead, y'all continue.
No, go ahead. You're talking basketball. Go ahead.
And then Rodon, man. I'm like, this dude was supposed to be like one of the ace on the team. And so I'm like, man, this dude's getting cooked. Like, I mean, every time you get on there, you're getting cooked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Rodon, what's the other cat? Gill, he's starting to come down a little bit. Yeah, Lewis Gill.
Marcus Stroman.
Yeah, he's inconsistent. So again, Cole, he's trying to get his legs back, so to speak. So it's been tough on that pitching staff. And then the bullpen hasn't really done its job. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Man Cave have talked about, you know what I'm saying? I miss Mariano Rivera.
The thing I just is the pitching and the bullpen and the issues there. this much of a factor that this team is going to be losing like this?
It's all facets. It's the hitting, the pitching, is everything.
Yeah,
It's
it's like nothing's clicking right now, coach. So they're not really hitting well. They, because they were on fire. And when you're, like I said, you only succeed in baseball 30% of the time. That's considered good. You know what I mean? So you have to understand that eventually when you're hitting the baseball really, really good, it's gonna even out. It's gonna average out. So that hot streak they had hitting, now they kind of need their pitching to step up. You see what I'm saying? And it's not doing its job. So you're getting bad hitting and bad pitching because in the early part of the season, the hitting was kind of carrying the team.
Right.
What I'm saying is it because this is a drastic difference, guys? That's what I'm getting at. So it's more than just bad hitting, bad pitching.
Bad managing too.
All of that. What I'm getting at, it leaves me feeling there's something in the locker room that's causing the guys to go out and perform. That's what I'm getting at.
Boom. He's the manager. You're the one that got it.
It's not just the manager. What I'm saying, it could also be players, bro.
It is players, and players do get in their own way, but you have to. The thing of the manager is to manage the players. You got to have your pulse on the team. Aaron Boone been the Yankees manager for how long right now? So again, you got to be able to manage your team. You know the players you got. They got rid of Joe Girardi, who that shit pissed me off. That because he was too hard on the players.
Right.
What's that dude? Gary Sanchez's punk ass.
Oh, yeah.
he was crying and all this other shit. A couple other guys were crying. So they got him out of there, got Boone in there, who's a players coach. And now, like you're saying, it did something wrong with the players. You know what I'm saying? But that goes back to the manager. It's like, what are you doing?
And then what about the captains on the team, man? Players only meeting. I mean, come on,
guys. Yeah. Some of these guys got to step up. You know what I'm saying? And then you trying to, again, Juan Soto's not signed here. So again, you're trying to convince Juan Soto to resign and not go to the fucking Dodgers or somewhere else or the Red Sox, God forbid. Right. So you gotta get this shit together, man. That's on Aaron Boone. That's what I've been trying to say. That dude is not it. Go ahead, Leaf, man. I know you've been hanging on for a minute, man. get your thoughts out, man. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate y'all, man. Definitely Pop, Coach. Definitely been chiming into the WNBA. We had some chit chats about that.
Yeah, talk your talk. We was just on the Yankees, but you could talk basketball, whatever you want to talk about. This is kind of a freestyle show.
Well. I'm gonna get into the nitty gritty right now. Listen, I don't give a damn if we get the number 1 pick or the number 2 pick. Sean Marks and Joe Tsai cannot be here to oversee those those picks.
Talk about it. I'm gonna mute up for this one.
Here. They can't be here, and I'm gonna explain to you why. The Sean Marks era has ushered into the Nets. The most wins we had in the 82 win season was a year ago when we had 45 wins, and when we finished the season with 45 wins. The other high, bro, was with the 72 game seasons after the bubble when we had 48 wins. This is a goddamn disgrace, and I'm gonna watch my language for this, man, because I don't want to be. I'm really, really angry, and I'm getting more and more ticked off. If we get the number 1 or the number 2 pick, the front office that's aligned right now cannot be here to oversee those picks. They cannot be here. Now, the best thing for us to do is to have Julia Koch and the Koch family break off the rest of the 85% of the team, and then that way Sean Marks could get his sorry ass up out of here. I don't want to see him with another job again.
Please,
I really don't.
Man.
And listen, to the players that's here, it seems to me that they're on tryout contracts, because the qualifying offer that went down for Trendon Watford today tells me that no matter if we going with a youth movement or we not going with a youth movement, a lot of the guys that's on this team coming into the season is not going to be here for the foreseeable future. That's what it tells me. You know why it tells me that? Because Sean Marks is our GM. And you know why I know that? Because Sean Marks is known to at the drop of a dime flip something as soon as some free agents line up and they ready to come here. Here he go. Oh, all right, yo, we don't want the draft picks no more. We just got them. We just held them for trade bait. Let's get them up out of here. That's not gonna cut it no more. The thing is, in this new CBA, a team has to be built from the ground up. I'm sorry. It just I don't care. I don't care if you're in the tri-state area. I don't care if you're in LA. Your team has to be. The Lakers are figuring it out, and the Clippers are figuring it out, and they in LA. And listen, and the teams that try these get rich quick schemes like Phoenix and the Clippers, they figuring out what we already know.
It ain't
gonna work.
Tell them, please.
They figuring it out. So the reality of this situation, whether it's Cooper Kupp, who I believe is the next Keith Van Horn, bro. I don't really see it. Be honest.
Cooper Flag.
Yeah,
Cooper Kupp play for the Rams.
Cooper Flag, my bad. Cooper Flag. Whether it's Cooper Flag, who I believe is the next Keith Van Horn, or Ace Bailey, who is absolutely amazing me every time I see him. Don't matter who it is. The front office that's aligned right now cannot be here to oversee those players. Cannot. Under no circumstances. Now, I don't give a damn who the coaching staff is. I don't care what the player development team is. I don't even care what the health staff look like. The front office that's aligned right now cannot be here. I don't give two damns about the Tangerines. I don't care what they do. I know for a fact that shit has to change. And just like the Knicks knew for a fact over the years that shit had to change. Phil Jackson got up in there, and guess what? You still had the same front office that you did years ago, and it did not work. It mounted up to 50 lost seasons left and right. Something has to change upstairs. Don't wow me but listen, any one of us could have hit the reset button. Any one of us.
So
the
let me
Chicago Bulls is trying to do that right now.
Right. So let me
and
ask
Jerry
you.
Reinsdorf been holding that franchise hostage since Jordan was there.
Right.
Jerry Reinsdorf. Yeah.
Jerry Krause.
Go ahead. Yeah, Krause. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead, Cave.
I was going to ask you, so which GM would you want to be in place? I mean, other than Sean Marks, what GM would you want, or you have one in mind, or something like that?
Everybody, the only name that realistically came up was Bob Myers, but I don't think Bob Myers want to come back to basketball. I don't believe he wants to come back to basketball. That would be
nasty, bro.
I don't believe that Bob Myers wants to come back to basketball for the simple fact that everything that went down in Golden State was basically, especially after the KD years, he was kind of basically like he seemed like he was really like when he explained it, he seemed like he really didn't want nothing to do with basketball after Kevin Durant left. That's what it seemed like to me, because we all know, bro, Kevin Durant had no business being on that floor against Toronto. He had no business being on that basketball court. The simple fact that he wasn't a Bob Myers idea. That was a Bob Myers move. He was all against it. He was very avid that he did not want that to happen. And the way that Draymond basically went rogue.
Hey, yo, what y'all think about not to cut you real quick, I just thought about what y'all think about the Paul George saying he should have got the same money as Kawhi and kind of that whole situation?
I'm half and half with that, and I'm gonna explain why. The thing is that the Clippers, as well as the Los Angeles Lakers, have bent the knee to a lot of players that have quote unquote resumes. You know, and with Kawhi Leonard, the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, because they got the new owner, Ballmer, and the Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James, because Genie and the Buss family probably gonna go broke if they don't sell tickets. That's what's probably gonna happen. So I don't know what Dr. Buss contingency plan was, man, after he passed. God rest his soul. But it seems like the Buss family is hell bent on bending the knee to LeBron James. Listen. I know for a fact if Dr. Buss was still alive, he would have took his franchise back a long time ago.
Right.
He was not letting LeBron run shop and set up this circus and letting Clutch Sports set up this circus that's going on in LA. He was not having that happen.
Mhm.
The way that that's being run is almost the same way Don
It's
Sterling
em-
was running the Clippers.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. And I kind of touched on this a little bit on unpopular opinions. Y'all go check out my unpopular opinions because I was thinking about Bronny James, and I was just thinking about the whole dynamic of him playing with his father, you know, and as a father myself, you know, I would have to think about that too. So it's going to get a little sticky in a situation where Bronny is criticized or he's going through some type of adversity, and then LeBron's gonna have to say, like you said, Leaf, it's gonna be a big old circus. You know
Yes,
what
it
I'm
is.
saying? And the focus is gonna be on them two players, and it's gonna suck for Anthony Davis. It's gonna suck for D'Lo over there, and whoever, Austin Reeves, whoever, all these other players they got, because that's what's gonna be the focus now. Like you're creating a circus, like you said. Go ahead.
It's mostly going to stink for Anthony Davis because
Mhm.
here's somebody that at once the 65 games initiative was initiated, bro. Like he has played
No, he's
some of his
fucked.
most
Yeah.
consistent basketball, and now he's basically been put in a position where Rob Pelinka and Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss is basically bending the knee to LeBron James,
65 games for Anthony Davis.
handing him pass out hand me downs. Listen, second round picks getting 4 years guaranteed is out of this world to me. It's
4
just
years,
out of
yeah.
this world to me.
Right.
Totally out of this world to me. But having that said, I personally think that the team that the Lakers was building, bro, when Kobe left and before LeBron got here, that was a legitimate team. That was a legitimate team. They was building with young pieces. Go look at Julius Randle now. Outside of Lonzo, go look at everybody on that team
Oh
now.
yeah, they
Go
had
look at
Julius
everybody.
Randle, they had Ingram, they had
Ingram,
who was the
Julius
other-
Randle,
who was the other
Josh
dude they had?
Hart,
Josh
Hart,
Hart,
yup.
D'Angelo
bro,
Russell, they had Russell.
Kuzma.
Kuzma.
Yeah, Kuzma. Yeah, they had a
No.
lot.
I think we had D'Angelo Russell.
No, D'Angelo Russell. He got picked by the Lakers. The Lakers.
Yeah,
picked
he
him.
was drafted by the Lakers. He got traded.
I think we might have got him the season after. I think that's when we got D'Lo.
Yeah. I mean, y'all got him after because of that whole thing with him and Nick Young on the team. With
Right.
Yeah.
But when I go back and look at the Lakers during that time, the Lakers was actually trying to build a team through the draft. They were trying to do that, bro, while Kobe was on his way out.
Right.
Kobe got out. LeBron, then that's when the Lakers started sending players away to make cap space for who? Bum ass LeBron James to walk up in there and then get rid of all of the young pieces and say, I need to win now.
I mean, they picked Lonzo Ball too. Number 2, they picked Lonzo Ball before he
Yep.
got
Lonzo. I looked at and when I look back at that, when I look back at
nice young players, bro.
And when I look back at that, you know what? You know who I think of? You know who I think of when I look back at that? And I know for a fact they ain't gonna win a championship. The damn Villanova Tangerines. I look at them, they doing the exact same thing. Getting rid of draft picks for getting rid of draft picks.
There you go.
I gotta say this. Getting rid of draft picks for college camaraderie because they cannot get
what you're selling a fallacy.
That's why.
Selling a fallacy because what and I get where you're going in terms of your premise, but what the Lakers did in the past is not this new day and age of the NBA.
Exactly.
You got to, because OKC is going to face this. You could sit here and say building through the draft, but what the penalty is you're going to have to pay these players, and you can only pay but so many. So whether you're trading for players or you're drafting, it's already been said. OKC is going to have to pay all these players. They're players that they're drafting, and the draft picks that they're holding, they're going to have to sell them. That's the thing that nobody is. Everybody wants to sit here and say, "Oh, you're paying too much for, and you're giving away all these draft picks." But ladies and gentlemen, with the new CBA, with these penalties, with this first and second tier, you're going to have to pay these players. First rounders are going to have to get paid somewhere down the line. And if you have a boatload of them, you're not going to be able to pay them. So how else are you going to build your team? You have to, at certain times, you have to do this. Boston is in about 2 years, you're going to see Boston is going to strip it down. So kill me with all of this build through the draft and trading for this and that. No, the CBA is ruining the NBA. And that's for whichever way you want to go. That's the business of the NBA. And you don't believe me? Do your research, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously, do your research and pull up the CBA and read it. Read it, seriously. You're going to see that even if you're drafting players, first round draft picks, it's going to come back to bite you when you have a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. And
so you got to get rid of them somehow, some way. And you know what? It's that's just the reality.
It's how you get rid of them, and
it is how you get rid of them. You're absolutely right about the multiple first round draft picks. Well, but the best thing the Lakers got going for them is the fact that they got a second round draft pick, basically for 4-year deal guaranteed for cheap. That's basically what they got. So the next 4 years, realistically, it could go either way. They could go get another second round pick, and turn out to be something, to be like some solid role player, and then add maybe another first round pick out, like another one, maybe one lottery pick, because the lottery picks really get paid. That's the players that really get paid. Go look at Scotty Barnes. Go look at Franz Wagner. Go look at Kay Cunningham that just got 220. These are rookie extensions. These are max rookie extensions, but the thing about those rookie extensions, those come with incentives. So basically the organization is still saving money if the team doesn't win. So if you go when you go and look at Boston, the incentives is basically in the contracts of Tatum and Brown. Those incentives is in those contracts with Tatum and Brown. Brown was only going to get paid the full $330 if he did what he did this year. But now they kind of got to pay that. But remember, that contract didn't even get started yet. It gets started next year. This time next year.
But you also have to factor in the Derek White contracts. You have to factor in Holiday. Those are also, this is what I mean by it goes into Boston having to make changes later on. That's why part of me is wondering what Milwaukee has been doing. Is it because they're sitting there trying to really, like we're saying they didn't do anything, but is it because they're really trying to understand the CBA?
That may be it. I think that may be it. They right now, it's not just Milwaukee. I think Denver's kind of at a standstill too, because remember they gave MPJ an incentive contract before the CBA got started, and the thing is that contract still kind of stands. But the fact that he was on the championship team kind of means that he's gonna get at least 85 to 90% of the bread.
And what did Denver do? They also had to let key players go for all of these guys, and we can kill the Clippers for all of this or that, and not giving Paul George his money. But is it a factor because of the CBA?
I mean, the thing about it, Coach, it is for the most part, and I'll tell you why it is. But the CBA is meant to prevent another Golden
favorite.
It's meant to prevent another Golden State KD situation from happening. That's what it's meant to do.
But what it's meant to do, but also because of the language, it also has some side effects, man. And a lot of it is situations like, look, as a Knicks fan, seriously, we can only do but so much because in terms of like with Hartenstein, what did OKC do? They really paid him more than the Knicks could do. Now, if the Knicks gave Hartenstein when he first came in a 3-year, then we could have gone over that. But nobody could foresee what Hartenstein was going to do. If you did, then you would have gave him the 3-year from the get-go. We still wouldn't be having this conversation because he would have still been under contract. But now, what do you do in terms of finagling? Brunson. Brunson is sitting here saying he might take a renegotiate or get an extension now to help the team. And I'm talking about taking $100 million less.
Right.
That's what I mean by the CBA is going to affect everybody, not just the teams, but also the players. And
absolutely.
And you're going to have to come back to the table to say, no, we need to rip this up because this is not conducive for anyone.
Do y'all think the new TV deals was enough for teams to sign maybe another max slot, like outside of 2?
I think the TV deals was going to kill the NBA.
But see, it's not the matter of the TV deal. It goes back to the CBA because of the language in the CBA. You could sit here and do that, but then the penalty because of you have to meet this apron, and then if you get to this apron, then you're hard cap, and you only add, and then you go into and when you're hard cap, what you're able to do. So it's like you're really restricted where you had the taxpayer exempt and it was about this much money. It really was a soft cap. But now and to me, here's the deal, to be brutally honest. If you're gonna do a hard cap, fuck all this other shit. Just do a hard cap like they do in the NFL and in hockey.
Right.
Stop playing around with it. If you're gonna do a soft cap, then all right, fine, do a soft cap the way you had it. But yes, they don't want to see a KD situation again. But ladies and gentlemen, there's always going to be a side effect, cause and effect, no matter what. So right now, yes, the top elite players are going to get their money. Yes, they are. But now the back end, and is it going to cause a problem with your next? Because now guys are going to win, and that's the thing too. Like when these union meetings, those back end guys are going to gang up on the top end. And then they're going to be forced to make changes. And then is it going to also force to go into a lockout or a strike in that regard? So to me, in looking at, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I get egg on my face and get pie pushed on my head and let it drip down my whole body in what I'm feeling. But it's going to be a nasty strike, man. It's coming.
It is.
I think it is going to be a nasty strike, but it depends on who's leading it. To be honest with you, CJ McCollum, bro, like he basically jumped off the top rope with no provocation. Because the thing is, the reality about the CBA is that it really got pushed forward because he hated the Warriors. Everybody know that. Everybody knows.
And see, when you're a leader, you can't do that. You have to look at the better. And I get it. Yes, you're right. I felt the same way. But sometimes it's like, yo, wait a minute. You're for the players. Fuck all that other shit. Mm-hmm. It's about the players. And right now, like I'm saying, will you have dissension between the top end of the players union versus the middle to the back end?
Absolutely. I think you had that. You had that when they went into the bubble. If you heard about some of them interviews, LeBron went in them interviews, and the way that it came out, the young players basically looked at LeBron and some of the older players, not all of them, but mostly LeBron, like, yo, did he really just say what he just said? And LeBron was kind of like nonchalantly like shoving off like a lot of the young players, a lot of the young up and coming players that was maybe their second, third year in the league about to get their money or whatever. But the new rookie max extensions, with this new CBA, when you think of teams like Detroit with Kate Cunningham, or you think of a team Scotty like Scotty Barnes with Toronto.
Kate just got paid too.
He did, but those are incentives. Those are, and you can sign them with incentive. That's the new rules in the CBA, and it started with MPJ because
I sent you the link, Breezy, on Twitter.
So the reality about this CBA, everything that coach was saying 100% on, but the thing is, when you got somebody up the top that's basically A-OK in it and giving it the thumbs up right off the rip without reading all the fine print on all the details to it, man. Now, this is one of the reasons why when they go back to the negotiation tables, you got to do your homework. You got to study. You got to understand what's benefiting.
See, that's the problem in terms of union leadership. Your job is to, when in terms of get the contracts, and you gotta go through everything. And see, it's not just you; it's your whole board and your lawyers. You have to get everyone in there to sit down and go over that and say, look, this is a cause and effect in terms of the labor negotiations. This is what this is our goal, this is our objective. And then as leadership, I get, you don't want this or that because you don't like cause a said situation by said players, but you got to look at the big picture for all the players. Not just the top end. I'm sorry. Yeah, the top end may be a little salty or whatever, but you need the back end. You need the middle to have a sustainable league. Because if that's the case, what's going to end up happening? You're going to end up having the top end getting all the money, and then eventually you're going to get to a point where you're going to get to the back end getting chump change. And then what is a lot of these guys in the middle or whatever? Well, I'm not getting paid here. I might as well go overseas to go get my money.
Well, it's kind of what I talked about with college football, coach. Remember
Yes,
the stream that we had last night?
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying that when you're merging all these leagues and all these conferences in college football, in case you guys don't know, to clarify what I'm saying is, the Big Ten,
SEC,
and the SEC are basically gobbling up all the other conferences, man, and trying to make two super conferences. So, and teams are, in the ACC, the conference that I like, that I've been following, damn near all my life, is being dismantled, and it's starting with Florida State. So the conversation was, the question that I asked, I should say, was what happens to the smaller teams, to the Wake Forests, you know what I'm saying? To some of these other teams, the NC States of the league. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't know.
And yeah, right, Leaf, and that's what I'm trying to say. So to Coach's point, a lot of the small, so-called the little guys, they get left out, man, when some of these things happen, man, because I'm seeing it now in college football, and in college sports, period, because it's not just football, it's going to be basketball and everything else.
And I'm seeing in this NBA rookie extension, I think that's a bad move, because a lot of these guys not even proving yet. You just handing out money. I mean, you got Cade Cunningham. This dude plays like 30 games a year. I mean, to be frank,
I mean, but the thing is, it's like, I think they're going back to the where, you basically might as well start paying your first overall picks right out of the gate, because if he's getting that and a new TV deal is coming up, then Wemby might as well be getting $400 million. You might as well be giving him that.
How long Cade Cunningham been in the league?
About 3 years?
Cade Cunningham been in the league about
couldn't be no more than 3 years.
2021 draft.
Wow,
2021 draft. So
wow, and he got paid over $200 million already.
Right.
Hey, listen. Him.
Him. 270.
Scotty. Three players from that draft. Three players from that draft. Time max rookie extensions. Him, Franz Wagner, and Scotty Barnes. And I guess you could say Emmanuel Quickly, bro. Like, if you want to count him as well, because he signed for 175 because he was a restricted free agent.
But
Paulo gonna get his next year because.
Go ahead,
go ahead, coach.
No, but that goes back to my initial point in terms of, you're doing all this and you can incentivize it, but it's still affecting your cap. It's still pushing you into these first apron, second apron, no matter how you structure it. Right. You still have to, in a sense, this money to a certain extent is escrowed. So it's like, you have to say this money is put to the side. This is, based off of the salary cap. Yes, we can go over, but then you can only do but so much with everyone else before you're hard capped. And then once you get hard cap, you're only allowed certain parameters based in whichever apron you're at. And you can't really build a team that way. So now you're spending money on, especially with young guys who haven't really proven themselves in the league. And now you got veteran guys who have been there for so long and who have proven themselves. They're not getting their money, so they're going to be angry. But now are you building a winning culture for these specific teams? So I think it's just opening up a door for where this league is just going to eat itself up. And
you're right. You're absolutely right. I think with the new CBA, you have a whole bunch of GMs and owners trying to figure it out, and trying to figure out what they need to do off it. The teams that already won the championships, I think, like they're 50% content and they're 50% trying to figure out how they're gonna win the next one. Denver and Milwaukee is already on the list. They're already on the list. The Warriors, like they were over the tax before the CBA even started any damn way.
Right.
So realistically, they don't even care. They just like, all right, basically, you know what it is, brother. Listen, the Steph era was what it was. We broke up the Splash Brothers. Fine, it's cool. It's cool. What it is. But the thing is,
well, they also these teams, because Golden State, they could say they don't care, but you know, are they or can they afford it? Because once you get hard cap, and if I'm not mistaken, there's also a penalty that you have to pay for every dollar that you go over. Some teams just can't afford it, and you know, you might win a championship now. Denver's a small market in comparison to LA, New York, Chicago, Miami. They're not going to be able to afford that in the long run.
Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right, and I go by saying this. Listen, if the Celtics owner just paid all these players and they bill is almost $1 billion. They bill is almost $1 billion for players. So if he's selling he's putting the team up for sale. If he's putting the team up for sale, that means you already know that this CBA is striking down something crazy, bro. They just won a championship and he done put the team up for sale for over 4.5 billion. Or probably close to 8, because you need minimum at least 6 to 7 billion to buy a team. And you need it. They put out some news last year that Dolan was trying to sell because of some case that came up, which I didn't believe in the beginning. Yeah, he wasn't. I didn't believe that for a heartbeat. But the thing is, the only person that really got money, bro, like Steve Ballmer ain't sweating this. I don't think he's sweating this at all. The new owner, the new owner in Phoenix, I don't know too much about him, but he already broke the bank. The Clippers and the Suns, they got new owners, so they are breaking the bank. The Clippers owner, Ballmer, just bought his own stadium. He ain't used no tax dollars for that.
Yeah.
That new stadium that's about to open, bro. Like now that they got rid of PG, they're not feeling the effects of the CBA as much, because he'll probably dig into his own pocket and pay if need be, or however it go. So realistically, it's only 6 teams over the second apron anyway, and that's Celtics and Lakers as usual. You got Minnesota, you got Phoenix, you got who else? You got the Knicks and
Milwaukee. Is Milwaukee in there?
Yeah, he said Milwaukee.
Is it Milwaukee?
He didn't say Milwaukee, but
I thought he said Milwaukee.
I don't know. It might have been the Clippers, but I don't know. It might be Milwaukee.
It was the Clippers before they got rid of Paul George.
Before they got rid of PG. Right. You're absolutely right.
And it can't be the Bucks because Lillard and
Giannis.
Greek Freak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So Lillard and Giannis, they don't like. That's 75% of the cap. Everybody else is probably on their way out.
Middleton got paid too.
Middleton got paid.
That's why it is Milwaukee,
and that's why they're trying to trade Lurch.
I think Denver was close, but the thing is, Denver is trying to they are trying to at least split it up, or like work around it somehow, some way, because they've been letting players
Murray's
go.
Contract is on hold.
And I know the Sixers got to be up there too.
Yeah,
the Sixers should be up there because Maxey signed the 175 max. They gave PG.
I thought Maxey was over 200.
No, his is 200. Yeah,
his 200. My bad. So that's 2 max slots, and I think Joel is getting maybe 33, 35, or close to 40 this year, or something like that. If I had to say, the Warriors was close, but Klay Thompson got off the books. I think they got they still got Wiggins who signed for 100, but I mean, I don't know if they're gonna get him off the books soon. They got Poole off the books, so it seems like teams is slightly moving, trying to maneuver and trying to figure this CBA out. You know what I'm saying? But as listen, but to get back to the initial question about us, listen, one thing for sure, two things for certain. If we get a number one pick. If we get the number one pick in this next year's draft, Sean Marks cannot be here. Joe Tsai cannot be here to oversee that.
Joe Tsai is the owner, so no matter.
But Joe
working on
already
getting him out of there.
Yeah, Joe Tsai already gave up 15%, and the Koch family is trying to get the other 85.
Giving up slowly. Pause.
Yeah, they're giving up slowly. So the Koch family is trying to get the other 85.
We're talking about next year. The point is for next year. You mean to tell me you're going to sell the Nets by next year?
Listen, the Koch family already bought 15%. So
whether they bought 50%, my question to you is: your wish is for them to be gone. So you're telling me that they're going to sell this team by next year?
I need them gone by before the next draft.
No, not your need. You're saying they're going to be gone next year.
You don't know that.
I hope so. I'm not saying they're going.
Okay, you hope
so. They could get rid of Marks. They could get rid of Marks.
I think they could definitely get rid of Marks. Yeah,
Marks.
I feel like Marks and Tsai is a package deal, and they both need to go.
I feel like Tsai is just kind of.
He don't know what
I will say this.
He don't know what he's doing,
right? They're doing a good job with the Liberty. They are doing a phenomenal job with the Liberty, and I understand it's a different money in terms of salaries and so on, but they do a very good job within the WNBA in running that franchise. So how can you do well with one?
Sean Marks, the GM?
She's not the GM of the Liberties. He's not.
Exactly.
But you're talking about ownership. No, see, what I'm saying is ownership.
Ownership. Look, fellas. Ownership doesn't necessarily, unless you're Jerry Jones and a couple other owners, they don't really dictate.
The one thing I can say is Dolan did get out of the way.
Right, but he wasn't
exactly. A lot of owners. What owners want is they want stars for revenue, for branding, for fucking ticket sales.
They want to make money. Yes,
you know what I'm saying. That's what Joe Tsai has been chasing. He's been star chasing because he's trying to make money in Brooklyn. But again, that's not how Brooklyn is built. We talk about this shit all the time. I'm from Brooklyn. We not built with the whole razzle dazzle superstar, God Almighty motherfucker. It's
I don't know what we built with.
Like we're built like the old Nets, the Kenny Anderson, Derek Coleman, Buck Williams, Petrovic Nets. That's how the fuck we need to be built.
Yes, you're saying you need to be built.
Rick Mahorn.
The thing is, as far as an owner, if you focus strictly on that part and nothing else, you said it best, NYG. The owners are about making their money one way or another. Period. Whether it's chasing stars or selling luxury seats and PSAs in football, all this other stuff, they don't care. They just want to make money because they invest in this. They want to see a return on their investment. So that's what you got to look at. Like you said, you're saying Brooklynites are not built in terms of that chasing stars and all of that, but you're looking at a business. The Knicks nope, they're not. I've harped on Dolan. Dolan, to his credit, which I've left him alone, he's gotten out of the way.
And that's what we asking Joe Tsai to do.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
The Knicks and the Nets have always been their best when they didn't chase stars.
Fact.
And that's an absolute fact. Back in the day, the Knicks, when they were going against the Bulls, they were built. They traded for Oakley, but Mason was home grown. Patrick Ewing,
grown.
Yeah.
All those guys were homegrown. They've always been built with tough, gritty teams, and that's what the Knicks have actually gotten back to. Besides this Mikal Bridges deal, because they wanted the Villanova Knicks, which I do think is going to work out for them pretty well now that they found a way to bring OG back. But the Nets, y'all downfall started when y'all got away from what y'all do. When y'all brought in KG and Paul Pierce.
KG,
and y'all already had Joe Johnson.
I mean, well, yeah, that was the Prokhorov era. But the one thing about the Prokhorov era, I could say,
let him finish his thought real quick. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
But I don't follow y'all owners. I don't even know who the owners are.
It's Joe's side right now. And what Leaf was saying was Prokhorov was
y'all messed up when y'all had prime Joe Johnson and y'all brought KG and them over there. Joe Johnson,
bro. He was
a lot of people. A lot of people don't know, man. ISO Joe was an absolute monster. And
he definitely was.
He's a ball dominant type guard. So y'all really needed to get a good point guard and a good big man to put with him. But y'all brought over Paul Pierce and KG and nullified what Joe Johnson did because they're more ball dominant. And then when y'all lost them, you flipped around to try to do it again with Kevin Durant, Harden, and Kyrie Irving. Some teams and some New York is not built like that. Just to be honest with you, I'm not a true New Yorker, but New Yorkers are not built like to bring that superstar to because it never fucking works.
It never
OBJ never worked with him. Saquon Barkley, to be honest with you, never worked with him. The Knicks, when they tried to
Carmelo wait, hold it. Y'all drafted those players.
I know, that's what I'm saying, but it never really works when New York goes with those
star
flash type players. We won Super Bowls with name the receivers for the Super Bowls from 86 and 90. You see what I'm saying? It's like Plexico Burrs was a good get, but Plexico Burrs was a blue collar type guy. He wasn't a flash type guy.
So was Hakeem Nicks, Victor Cruz. He was a undrafted player. You know what I mean?
Hakeem Nicks was pretty damn good. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but he wasn't a flat. He wasn't super beloved in the media like that. The only guy we ever won with that was like super beloved in the media like that was Victor Cruz, and he was just a Patterson guy. He got known because of the salsa.
He got the swag. He had the
salsa. Yeah, definitely. But
if he would have never did that salsa dance, he would have been just like all the other receivers.
Yeah, with Knicks, Plexico, definitely they were blue collar, hard workers. They were known for like everything mostly on the field. For the most part, definitely for sure.
Iman Perry's name, Mark Ingram, Mark Bavaro, those
Mark Ingram, Bavaro, yeah.
Definitely. But New York is basically better when they're blue collar and they just want to go to work. Brandon Jacobs and Amar Bradshaw, were they ever beloved in the media? Hell no. Not like Barkley.
Those Yankees teams. Only Derek Jeter really got the clout. You had Tino Martinez, Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill. You had
Mariano got the clout.
Mariano did later on when Mariano first started. Scott Brocious, right?
I would definitely say that like the Joe Torre era, bro. The only person that really had like the tabloids was Derek Jeter, realistically. But I mean, like if Derek Jeter played in this era, bro, he even said he probably would have played maybe 3-4 years. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I mean, but because social media and everything. But I definitely get what you're saying in terms of like the no nonsense guys and the guys that didn't really shine that crazy of a light on the media, on media attention and all of that, man. Because if you go and look back at the Knicks teams in the 90s, none of them guys was like media type
like that.
I mean, they was only beloved. They was more beloved. They was more beloved by the fan base than they was by the media.
Look, back then, those teams back then. The most beloved team was the Bulls. Everybody know that they had because they had Jordan, they had the Flash, but they were really blue collar themselves. But the Pacers and the Knicks and the Heat, The
All
Hornets.
them teams was blue
Pacers.
collar. Yeah.
If you
Like,
really
bro,
look at
the whole 90s was blue collar.
if you really look at it, if based on that, then the only flash team that ever won championships is the Lakers. The Celtics, blue collar. I mean,
Warriors.
go.
No, the Celtics were beloved. Now, they weren't flash.
No, they
They
weren't
were
flash.
beloved in the media. You know, they had Bird.
Steph
They
and the
had
Warriors was
Mikal.
flash to me, bro. Like all the
The Warriors back in the day with Tim Hardaway and them. Yeah, they were flash.
Okay, with Tim Hardaway, they didn't win championship. I said they
I
won
know.
championship.
You talking about Run TMC?
Yeah,
you
no, I
talking
know.
about
With
Run
Chris,
TMC,
with Chris
but
Mullin.
if you talking about teams that won championships, Steph and the Warriors was flash.
That's fair. That's
Their
fair.
style,
That's fair.
their style was flash. Yes, it was, but they had a blue collar attitude back with it.
They had Draymond Green.
They
one
had
of the
Draymond
biggest
Green
goons
covering
of
for
all
the blue
time,
collar
bro.
shit.
Like
They had him covering for the blue collar shit.
Man,
like
bro,
everything else
look.
was flash.
Let me say something about Draymond Green real quick, because he get a lot of smoke in the media, man. And Draymond Green, man, is he's a I'm gonna say this because I don't want to get in trouble with Coach. He's a brother that I would like to have on my team. Like that. I was gonna say another word, but he's
I think he's very calculated.
I would like to have on.
I think the thing with Draymond, he's very calculated in an era that doesn't really allow it as much, bro. Like the thing is, I think he built that MO early while everybody else was sitting on the perimeter. Everybody else was sitting on the perimeter. He had to build that rapport early. You know what I'm saying? He had to be the glue guy early.
Let me tell you about Draymond Green. And Coach is out of respect for you. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I should say we'll talk later. We'll talk later.
But Draymond Green is an absolute goon. And that's what he made his name off of, because he wasn't the flashy dribbler and he wasn't the 7-foot big man and he wasn't the corner shooter.
He's the Dennis Rodman of this era.
Yes, that's what he was. Yeah. And that's even more kudos to Dennis Rodman, because Draymond can't hold a candle to Dennis Rodman when it came to
absolutely not.
And Ron
rebounds and things. Now he was a better. I say this: Draymond Green made his money.
He's a better offensive player than
a facilitator. You can give the ball to Draymond Green, and you can trust him
to three every once in a while. He was a better offensive player than Dennis Rodman, but defensive wise, rebounding wise,
no.
But for what he brings to that team, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, right. He brought the toughness to that Warriors team, where Steph and Clay couldn't do that because that's not their game. So if you tried to bully up on Steph and Clay, Draymond was that dude. Like, who you talking to?
The enforcer.
Like, I'm the enforcer on here on this.
Yeah, he was,
and I'm gonna get the ball to my guys.
He was basically their shield. He was basically their shield and protector, bro. Like, and I think a lot of teams had that. When you talk about Rodman, in the '90s, even on the Pistons, when you talk about guys back then, I think
Oakley Mason.
I think when I'm talking about championship teams, when you talk about like a lot of those guys or what they mean to championship teams, that those teams had it, and I think Draymond needed to be that shield for them, because outside of him, they was basically an all finesse team. So they ain't really have the grit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really have the grind, and the goonery, bro, like that Draymond was bringing almost every night, especially during them championship years. You know
let me ask y'all something. Do you think it'll ever be a team to come along like the Pistons and actually the Pistons twice did it. Because remember they beat the Lakers with the Ben Wallace and the Rasheed Wallace Pistons. Y'all ever think it'll be a rough, rugged team come back in the NBA like that?
No. We were close to seeing it. Somewhat with Minnesota, but I don't like, because defensively, I thought they had the skill set defensively. They just lacked a lot of offense.
I think it's the rules. Because of the rules.
It's the rules, yeah.
Yeah, but it definitely is the rules. What I can say is Minnesota and the Knicks, bro. They in terms of last year, they picked up the report on the switch of officiating early, because the way that they played defensively, and even before the NBA announced they wasn't gonna stop calling ticky tack fouls, they was playing that way all year. Minnesota was playing defensively sound all year long. The New York Knicks was playing the grit style of basketball all year long, or hustle type of basketball all year long. Part of the reason why they monkey asses got injured, but at the same time, bro, like they understood where they wanted to go, how they wanted to play, and how they wanted to work, and what type of a team that they wanted to become. The same thing with Indiana. Indiana figured out all along, hey yo, we real good at offense. We ain't shit at defense.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we real good at offense. One of the reasons why they shot 68% in Madison Square Garden in Game 7. So like
Wow.
but at the same time,
How the
understanding
fuck
Yeah,
do
but
you
they
shoot
should.
60? Hold on.
understanding who you are is the main thing.
But
That's the thing.
yeah, but
How
you
the hell
also
do you
who
shoot
was on the who
68%
was out there
in a
on the
playoff
floor
game?
Right.
I
in
don't
this
give a
situation?
damn who's out there
No,
on the
no, no.
floor.
That's
You
not
don't
true.
shoot
Y'all was
60,
getting your
bro.
ass kicked going
Yeah, I
before
didn't
that.
say we
68%?
wasn't. You're missing what I said.
Holy
I
smoke.
said who was missing off of that during that point in time.
You're going
You're
to
gonna
me.
sit here. You're gonna sit here and speak facts.
That
Speak facts.
that game was over before that happened. You know that. Stop it,
No,
coach.
no, no, no,
Yes,
no,
it
no, no.
was.
No,
Them-
you're missing.
they
What?
couldn't
No,
miss.
you know
What was
what? You know
y'all
what? I'm
doing?
done. I'm done.
Coach,
I'm done because I'm
no,
not trying to
with,
get stick. I'm not
yeah,
trying to
with,
get stick.
with,
Coach,
with
you guys,
coach,
they know the real. They know the real. Coach.
with coach and man cave, dude, they try to come on here and softly debate the Knicks narratives, and
No, I'm not
it's
softly
it's
debating it.
cool.
I'm
You know
not
what I'm saying?
softly, but y'all are sitting here trying to twist it in a way that, you know what I said. Point, but you did not have OG out there. You did not have Julius. You did not have Mitchell. So those are key contributors to the
Bro,
defense.
68%. You still
I
had Hart. You still had
gosh.
DiVincenzo.
All right.
You still had
Hey,
Jalen
hold
Brunson.
on.
You know
What
what?
we
You're right.
talking
You're
about
right.
right here?
Y'all are right. Y'all are
If
right.
y'all would have won that series, I wouldn't have been saying
It
that.
would have been a
No, that's not
different
what I'm
tune.
saying.
All right.
Hold on.
You
What
said that
was
game.
said?
Leaf and NYG, y'all are right.
They
All
talking
right,
about
I'm
reason
wrong.
why Indiana
All right.
shoots
Nah,
68%
nah,
in one
nah,
game.
coach.
Nah,
Hold on, I couldn't hear. What was
No,
it? What was said?
what I'm saying is, coach said that. I mean, well, Leaf said that the Pacers shot 68% in that Game 7 series, and I said, "Damn, how do you shoot 68%?" And the coach was alluding to, you know, all the players that they had, and he's got a point. But I'm like, shit, still, nigga, you let a team shoot 68% on your court.
Okay. Can I say something real fast? Can I say something real fast?
Go ahead, you got it.
The Knicks win that series in 5 if all their players are healthy. And that's an absolute fact. When you're missing OG,
think they win.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
When OG went down, he was hurt. Brunson was playing out there hurt. They had Josh Hart was hurt. Randall was hurt.
And Mitchell was out.
Yeah, Mitchell was out. Like that series, that was pure grit by the New York Knicks in that series, to be honest with you. And if they had all their people healthy, I think they beat them at least 4-1, maybe even sweep. And to be real with you, if they would have went over there and played the Celtics, I think they would have gave the Celtics a hell of a battle, because the Celtics weren't playing like the Celtics in the finals. The Celtics were playing to be beaten by the Pacers. So if they would have played like that against the Knicks probably would have beat them too. And I'm just going to be real with you. Having all those people hurt, that does make a difference, bro. I don't care what you say or how you say it. If they were fully healthy, it was a wrap in that series.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Listen, if it was a split, we all be high. But the thing is, bro,
that's cool. You can say that, but don't talk like they just gave up and none. Those dudes were playing off pure grit.
And determination.
That's part of the reason why they got hurt, because they decided to show up with a whole bunch of grit, but with a finesse team.
They were already hurt before they got in that series, bro.
Let me tell you what happened to the Knicks, man. And I told Coach this. I don't think Cave was on the podcast. I think it was somebody else. It might have been.
That might have been my best recorded game ever.
But look,
Leaf, stop.
I told people when Mitchell Robinson got hurt, and Knicks fans still don't want it. They still, and I be trying to give y'all Knicks fans game, and y'all be curbing me like I'm hating on y'all. I'm not hating.
I know what you're gonna say because
you know what I'm saying. When Mitchell Robinson got hurt,
right,
that changed that entire fucking series. I made a video about that shit, and I'm not even a Knicks fan. That changed.
I think Mitchell Robinson got hurt. He got hurt in the Sixers series.
And he did not play in that Pacers series. And fucking Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner soft ass ate like hell. They ate like they were Shaq in the paint, bro. Like, so you got Precious.
So
you got
where
Precious.
are you getting this motion that they gave up?
Nah, I'm not getting this notion that they gave up. But what I'm saying is, bro, but listen, great offense beats out great defense any day. And if a team is shooting 60-something%, ain't a damn thing you can do.
That's not
but
necessarily
the point I'm saying in Leaf is who they were doing it against. Now, if you bring in OG, who's a great wing defender, you bring Mitchell, it's going to less. I get what you're saying as far as 67%, but that's unheard of.
Miles Turner,
that's unheard of. That's going to come down. That's going to change the whole way you play defense and offense.
And Coach, I totally disagree. A great offense does not always beat a great defense. It's really the other way around. I promise you know what? If you know what you're doing on defense, a great offense can be nullified. Ask the Patriots with the Rams.
I'm inclined to agree with you, but in the case of basketball, we seen it happen. We seen the Minnesota Timberwolves get literally dissected. The number one defense in the league get dissected by Kyrie and Luka.
And they were healthy. And they
was healthy. So you want
to know why they got beat by the Mavericks? One is because they weren't disciplined. Why are you letting them do lobs all day long? That's the only reason why we beat them like that, because they was letting us do lobs all day long. You know what they coming to do? They coming to get in the paint, and lob that shit to Likely and Gafford. And I'm a Mavericks fan, but I was like, how the fuck are they letting us do this? You know what we're trying to do.
So the thing is, a lot of people like to blame Rudy for that series. I don't. I blame the perimeter defense of the Minnesota Timberwolves for getting bullied and getting lost like they was doing.
I blame Big Cat for trying to be a damn point guard shooting threes all day. I blame Rudy Gobert for acting like he didn't have the awareness to stop a lob. When we went to play the Celtics, Al Horford in his 18th year wasn't having none of it.
6'6".
Wasn't having none of it.
That's true, but they also had Jason Tatum on the back end for a lot of those too.
Jason Tatum's not a great defender. You know who won that series for the Celtics?
Jrue Holiday.
To be honest with you, and it allowed the Celtics to get off because Luka and Kyrie were tired because they were having to do everything.
Holiday,
motherfucking Al Horford, and yes, Holiday. Holiday was playing defense on Luka like Luka has never seen, and Luka better get his ass on that treadmill and in the gym.
Hey, you better think about Derek White too, and what he did on Kyrie.
Derek White did a good job, but Jrue Holiday was the key component.
The main thing Jrue Holiday did is he did not let Luka dictate the pace. If you let Luka dictate the pace, he's gonna eat you alive. He did not let him get in that damn lane with that slow dribble and basically look like he in slow motion and just wait for one of them big motherfuckers to go up there so he can lob it to him. And Al Horford was having none of it. When I say Al Horford's a grown man, I told people even before they won the championship, I said if Al Horford keeps those boys' heads straight, he's the only one that's playing championship basketball right now, because he was having none. That man was playing like a man possessed, and it wasn't just by points. He was running the floor. That is Al Horford even 6'8", 6'9"?
He about 6'9", 6'10".
Is he about 6'8", 6'9"? That man was handling Gafford and Likely like they were little boys out there, and I was like, yeah, it's over. because we
Yeah.
can't get in the lane.
I will say this: if y'all had shooters off that bench, y'all would have won. Y'all probably would
Yeah,
have won
and that they nullify what we did, because if Luka and Kyrie can't get into the lane last year and dictate the pace of the game, it was just going to be the Luka and Kyrie show against 10 other players.
Y'all got better shooters this year, bro. So y'all
Yeah,
should be
I'm
all right.
glad we got Klay Thompson. Now,
Y'all
when we
got
get in the
Najee
lane
Marshall
and we can
too.
kick it out,
Yup.
yeah,
Y'all got some
Big
shooters
X
now.
it's
factor.
on. It's
Quentin
on this year.
Grimes. Don't sleep on Quentin Grimes, especially
Yep,
playing with Klay Thompson. Klay is going to get him right.
Yes, he
I'm
is.
telling you.
Absolutely.
But
When
a
you playing
great
with
defense.
Kyrie and Luka, bro, like you could do that, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think a great defense beats a great offense 8 out of 10 times. I promise you, because if you know what you're doing on defense and you know what that great offense loves to do, even though it may be difficult to stop, but you can stop it. You nullify that team. Look at us against the Patriots when they were 18-0. Them dudes were averaging almost 40 points a game.
I always say, Pat, defense is
I
more about
mean, well,
effort
like
than
in the case
anything
of,
else.
like I said, in
Hold
the
up,
case
real
of
quick.
football,
Defense
go
is
ahead.
about effort. I just
Yeah,
want to say this real quick, because defense is about effort, because you have to want to play defense, because see a lot of especially younger players, like coach, when you're coaching players not only at the football level
Oh
but the
damn! Here, let me
basketball
get this
level,
call.
they want to play offense, they want to score, they want to be the highlight player, they want to, you know what I'm saying, make the points. I was like that, you know what I'm saying. I wanted to make more points. I wanted to get more shots. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're playing a team sport. You're not playing tennis. You're not playing golf. You're not boxing or wrestling. You're playing a team sport. So at the end of the day, you have to acknowledge that. Now, when we bring in players in to the NFL and the NBA, they don't necessarily have that mindset. It's up to the coaches to teach them and to get them to be able to say, all right, look, I need to put my ego aside and actually play team ball. You know what I'm saying? And that's important, man, because a lot of us don't understand that when we're out there, it's different. But when you're looking at somebody else that's out there, you're like, okay, you should have did this, you should have did that, you should have did this, you should have did that. But think about if your ass was out there, because you have done all A, B, and C and D that you asking somebody else to do. It's part of the game. It's part of the critique. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this, NYG. If you have a good coach that has a good scheme and he can get those players to buy into it and be selfless, those are your best teams, to be honest with you. Because when you look at those teams where everybody's just trying to be the superstar and everything, it normally doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, sometimes it can, but when the greatest show on turf with Kurt Warner and them, everybody had a role. It's just that they had a conglomerate of guys that were so good that every last one of them in their role could be dominant at any time.
You said it,
somebody
though.
like Isaiah Hakeem, he gave up what I think he could have been a better receiver in his career, but he gave up his explosiveness a little bit to get Marshall Faulk more catches. You see what I'm saying? Like sometimes you gotta, I don't know how to say it, like hone yourself down. Like Tatum and Brown this year. Normally, when you saw Tatum and Brown in years past, they both trying to do all this crazy stuff, but they actually played off each other this year. And I'm telling you, that's because Al Horford might have hit somebody in that locker room. I'm just gonna be honest.
Hey, bro, you
Because
cannot.
I've never seen the Celtics play like that. I was like, they ain't gonna never win. But Derek White came in, he played his role. Brown played a role. Tatum played a role. Horford played a role. Holiday played a role. That's why they were the best team in the NBA this year.
When they got Drew Holiday, I'm gonna be honest with you. I already knew they was gonna be like one of the top teams, because that dude, you don't understand what a true point guard does for your team. You know what I'm saying?
Point guard that plays defense like he's a small forward.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? He plays defense. These point guards don't want to play defense anymore. Steph Curry set the bar. He can shoot his ass off, but Steph don't really want to play defense. He does, but you know what I mean? He don't really want to play defense. and that's the kind of bar that was set. That defensive, not wanting to play defense, that came in with the Steph, James Harden type era. You know what I'm saying? Because LeBron, for all people criticize him for it, LeBron, he'll play some defense. You know what I'm saying? So, but these guys
Back in
don't
the
want to.
day, now he ain't playing none. But
Now
back in
he
the
ain't
day,
playing
he'd play
shit.
some
Yeah,
defense.
because that's the era that we living in. They don't want to play defense now. So again, and like to Leaf's point, Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves, you know, and the Knicks, you know, shout out to them. They're trying to bring that defensive grittiness type back to the NBA, and it's needed. And it's needed for this point specifically. It's needed for the fans that have been watching the sport for so long, because when people got to understand, people always like, oh, we got to get with the times and cater to the young people and all this right now, but you got to understand the founders of fandom and the founders of the NBA, like, they made this sport to look like a certain type of way. And when you keep changing and changing and changing and changing and changing shit to where you're almost creating a different sport, it's gonna rub some people the wrong way. So to get basketball back to where it's basketball,
Be
and
right
not
back.
you have to allow some physicality in your sport. You can't make it a touchy, you know what I'm saying, soft sport. I know people don't like when I use that word, but look, it ain't tough no more. It's not. Basketball is not tough no more. I grew up in an era where basketball is tough. It's not physical, bump and run and tackle and all that shit like football and hockey. It's a technical sport, but it's always been physical. You ever been out on the basketball court and you playing against a mug, and y'all playing, and it's just like, you know, because people play. I'm gonna pause before I say this. People play with their shirts off and shit, and you be sweaty, and people, it's like you're playing a game with that physical mindset. You don't care at that point. You're just playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? And when you're thinking about it like that, that's where the sport has always been traditional, because you're playing and you're trying to win, but again, you know it's gonna be some physicality to it. It's not gonna be no, oh yeah, you fouled me, and I'm like, nigga, I wasn't even near. I wasn't even near you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say. It's sports to me is getting too technical. Is getting too It's like playing pity pat, man.
That's how the leagues want it. They want it like that, and no contact. That's how they want it.
How can you play sports with no contact? You might as well be playing. You might as well be playing a video game at that point.
Yeah, they want the scoring up. They wanted.
You might as well be playing a fucking video game at that point, because if you're not gonna allow sports to be a physical game, then make it virtual. Because it's if it's not gonna be physical, you might as well just make that shit virtual. Because again, you're taking away from what makes the game the game. Now you're making it a different game when you taking the physical aspects from sports. That's what I'm saying. It's the NBA, it's the NFL. They did it in hockey. They cut the fighting down on that shit, and it's like you can't slide into the home base no more. I don't think in baseball they got some type of rule on that shit because they don't want players to get hurt. They act like they so worried about injuries, man. I can't say what I want to say, but
I remember back in the day when baseball, they used to go barreling into the catcher. I mean, they went in there like, knock the catcher out. Get in here, man.
Facts. Like, man.
But they want the money, they want the ratings up, and that's what they want. Scoring.
But yeah, man, we're a couple hours in. I know this show kind of light tonight. I've been multitasking actually
Mm-hmm.
most the whole stream. Just making sure I covered everything that I needed to cover. Oh yeah, I want to talk to y'all about this shit, man. Let's clown these cats for a minute.
Cool.
I wanna incorporate more like comedy in the show because I don't want everything to be all like butt hurt serious. You know what I'm
Oh.
saying?
It's
So
comedy, right?
let's make fun of one of our New York teams here. Um, since the Giants are always the butt of jokes. All right. And coach sent me this shit, man. So shout out to coach.
Oh, he sent you this.
Yeah, me and coach, we talk off stream a lot, message and shit.
I know what that is.
But yeah, this is so
Today.
this is so this is a post by this whoever this guy is, Daily Loud. And he's talking about Zach Wilson. And he says QB Zach Wilson's girlfriend Abby is now engaged to his former roommate and Commanders wide receiver Dax Millen.
Wow, yeah.
And there she is.
She engaged to his roommate now.
And you can imagine what they saying in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look this coach cave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because Dak just got Zach just got he just got engaged, right? He just got engaged to himself, right?
yeah, man. So
He a mama's boy. He nothing but a mama's boy.
Yep.
but yeah, that's like that dude let his homeboy pretty much got his homeboy got engaged to his shorty. And that's the same thing that I was telling y'all about earlier. You know what I'm saying? It hurts more when
It's
the person you're with or love or whatever sentiment you have for that person or entity, and they go out
and they could get anybody else in the world, right?
but they pick your mans. Like
That's taking smash and pass way beyond the realm, man. I mean, really, man. I mean, she basically saying, bro, you can't lay it down like he can.
I mean, that is pretty sad.
She looking mighty happy too.
She look like she's
she's happy. She's like, yeah, I got him. Look at her. She got look at her.
She was like, man, when I used to come over there, I used to be looking at him too. You know what I'm saying? But
I got you. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But again, he's the Washington wide receiver, and Zach Wilson is the backup Jets quarterback. So, who do you think wins ultimately, career wise? Like,
he's a backup Broncos quarterback now.
Broncos, yep. And who is this dude though? Dak.
His roommate. He know who he
Commanders wide receiver. I mean, he ain't doing shit. She wanted him. So again, like Coach said, it must got something to do with the bedroom. Because Zach Wilson got more clout than this dude. Dak, who the fuck is he?
Now don't forget Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is also a Mormon too, so we ain't laying no wood down. That's the point.
Zach Wilson after seeing the news.
Wow.
I love the comments, bro.
Wow, that's cold.
That's cold, man. That's cold.
Nigga was plotting the whole time. Matthew Stafford's wife inspired.
Hey, look at it. It takes two to tango though, because she must have been with it too, because he could fly, but he must have been with it too.
She for the streets.
Yeah,
they always know who got next.
That's messed up.
Yeah, man. She belonged to the streets. God damn, that's cold, yo.
Actually, I'm in Denver now. He in DC, man. Do your thing, bro.
Is she really for the streets? Or she just want a real man? That's what she's saying. She want a real man. It ain't about the streets. It's about she want a real man.
One of mama's boy.
She don't want no little itty bitty 2-minute brother. She want
Oh,
no daddy long
man.
stroke. She want daddy long stroke. That's really what it's about.
They
That's the
always
dude
know
she
who
left
they
him
want,
for,
but
though,
they
in the
never
first
tell
picture?
you.
Yeah, that's what she left him for. I mean,
Yeah, this dude right here. This is the
with
guy.
now.
That's the wide receiver
Dak.
for the Commanders.
Dax. Not
the
Dak.
Commanders.
Dax. Milline or Millen or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Man,
Commanders.
that dude might not even make the team.
That's
Zach
what I'm
Wilson-
saying. Why
Zach
would
Wilson
you?
may not make the team either.
But Zach Wilson got way more clout than this dude. I'm
Oh, and
sorry.
Zach already got paid though.
Mhm.
Zach got way more clout than this
Does
dude.
he
Yo.
really have clout, man? He can't keep her. He ain't got no damn clout.
Well, he just got engaged to somebody else. So I mean,
He's
I
got
don't
clout,
know.
clout in the media, but not in the bedroom, obviously.
Man, that's messed up.
But yeah,
Man,
I want to keep more lighthearted segments on this show, man. We gotta learn to laugh, man, through all the pity.
Yo, if you don't make the team, you're gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna have to come back off of that ring. He's
Facts.
That's a good one.
That ring might be his whole rookie salary.
Yeah, bro. Like, oh, you got cut? Well, shit, I'm cut. I'm out of here.
Yep. That's gonna be
Zach,
real quick.
Zach,
Check the private chat.
Zach, you still there?
Mhm.
Let me know. Did you hear anything about that article?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, he's the owner of Nike, so he
Yeah,
alma mater.
but unlimited NIL.
Unlimited.
Woo,
Yeah,
yeah,
that dude's worth shit.
that
20
changed.
billion?
Oh,
No.
3
telling you,
million is like $30 to him.
oh,
Mhm.
hell no! What the hell? Unlimited?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Man.
he got unlimited money. That dude bringing in shit, billions per
there's
year.
already enough with the uniforms and all of that and Nike.
Yeah,
But now you talking about unlimited NIL?
heck yeah.
They
That
better
man,
win.
86. He like Jerry Jones. I want to see y'all win one before I get out of here.
Jerry Jones mode, man. Coach, you want to talk about that? You want to touch on that a little bit?
I'm sure
For
I'll put this
Coach's
against
Corner?
me.
Yeah. No, bro.
Go ahead.
No, bro.
I'm all right right now.
Man, you got
I
it,
mean,
man.
go ahead. We could talk about it. For those of you who don't know,
Come on, Coach.
Oregon is the owner of Nike.
Mhm.
Phil Knight.
Phil Knight. He's basically unlimited NIL, and we talked about NIL last night on the Reading Attack Live. And in college football, most programs there's a limit. There's only but so much money in your NIL funding. So if you have the ability to go unlimited, I mean, you can basically tell kids, yeah, I'm gonna sign you for $3 million to come over here. And you're going to be getting the cream of the crop now coming in there, which basically now is telling me why. And being that they're moving to the Big Ten and they're doing well in recruiting, yes, they better come into the Big Ten and they better be firing on all cylinders right now, because that's right there. That's big. That's big for any college program. I don't care if you're Alabama. I don't care if you're Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan. You can have unlimited resources. So you can tell kids, and it's not like the NFL where there's a salary cap. You can basically tell a kid, look, I'll sign you for $10 million. A quarterback, $10 million. Your offensive lineman, each of you guys get $5 million a piece. And it starts adding up. It's like, and they're already going to unlimited scholarships. They're already going that way. So, instead of, having 85 on scholarship and another 20 on walk-ons, now you can have unlimited scholarships. So, which is why you're seeing some schools now, like my Rutgers Scarlet Knight, pushing 30 scholarship, almost 30 scholarship offers. You know, where in the past it was, what was it, 24, 23, I think, in the past. And now, you know,
Yeah, I think it was 23.
yeah, now and it's not just Rutgers. I see quite a few schools that are pushing over 25 in terms of commitments. So now if you can have unlimited NIL money, that's going to give you the opportunity to really bring in the cream of the crop as far as for Oregon. Every school can't do it, but you know, and that's also going to force, you know, schools, you know, down in Texas A&M, in Texas. That's even going to force Ohio State and Michigan, their alumni. Somebody's going to come in or they're going to get a collective where everyone is going to be giving even more money to compete with Oregon, because that's some serious money right there. So, you know, unlimited NIL, like when I just saw it, I was just like, whoa, that's big. That's big, just like last night with the Florida State case. You know, this right here is just, and which goes back to what we were saying last night, where, you know, you're having the two conferences, because the ACC schools are not going to be able to compete like that right now with the TV money that they have. No, you know, that's why the Big Ten and the SEC, I said it last night, we're headed on that next TV contract. Those schools are going to be paying out $100 million per school in the conference, which is why. And then if you bring in, you know, to the Big Ten, you can bring in the Miami market. That's just going to up the payout even more, you know, and the TV companies are going to want to pay that, because you're going to be getting, you know, you're going to be getting those markets, but you're also going to be getting, you know, better, I don't want to say better quality, but you're going to be getting those top name brand programs, you know, in the ACC. To what NYG is concerned with, is going to be losing out, and the Big 12 is going to be losing out, in which you saw what happened with the Pac-12. So, you know, did college football, college athletics, let's call it what it is. It's another level of professional sports.
Yeah, that's what they're trending to, man. They're trying to make this thing professional, and my thing is, like I said, what does that do for the little guy? You know what I mean? For the small schools, with these mergers and these TV deals, as coach is talking about, to me, it's kind of shitting on them a little bit. Now, whether that's right or wrong, I mean, hey, you know what I mean? Sometimes that's just life. But, you know, I'm unpopular opinion sports, man. And a lot of reason why I like the teams that I like, especially the Giants and the Nets, is because they're always underdogs. You know what I mean? I like rooting for the underdog, and I like that aspect of, you know, people underestimating certain things and certain teams. You know what I mean? So I always want to see the underdog have that type of opportunity. And I feel like if you got 30 teams in the Big Ten or 30 teams in the SEC, those teams ain't going, man, they're gonna be buried. as far as money and things like that, but and more importantly, as far as recruiting, because they're going to be their pool of competition is larger now, because you're competing against a whole conference of big time programs.
But to a certain extent, I understand the concern, but it's like with the FCS. Remember, there's different levels in college football, in college sports. You have D2, you have D3, you have NAIA, and players still get picked up. Now, is it a higher level like if you have in the FBS? No, of course not. But they're going to still be found. These schools are still going to be in existence. They're just not going to have the big payday. And now, what's bigger? What's probably going to happen more so? The football programs, most of them are still going to be there. Basketball will mostly be there. What you can be concerned with is the other programs, like the tennis, the golf programs. Yeah. You know, those programs. Yes, because remember, football and basketball, to a certain extent, those pay the bills. That's the reality. They pay the bills. The other ones, you know what? They kind of rely off of that. So, and that's why, you know, they talk about the NIL incentive and trying to increase it, because it's not just about the big sports. it's also those other little ones. Some schools do well with baseball, but baseball is, every the NIL opportunity these kids are getting is not the same as with football. So and that's where your NIL, as a whole, that's where Oregon has a great opportunity. Because yes, you can have unlimited and you can pay all your football and your basketball, but it also helps out the back end too, because now you can get kids to go play those sports there. So that's where yes, to your point in terms of what's going to happen to some of these other schools. I said it before last night. Look, you might see the ACC and the Big 12 end up merging. Some schools, some of those teams are going to be regulated to the AAC, or like Oregon State and Washington State. Playing the Mountain West. Your payout is not going to be what you would get in the SEC and the Big 10, and to a certain extent the Big 12 ACC, what happens there, because they're 30-40 million dollars. But if you're in the Mountain West, maybe you're getting $10 million, $15 million as a payout. Big difference, which goes to affect the back end of your sports program. So they're still going to be in existence. It's just that they're not going to be on TV like they used to. You really have to be a sports nut like me to really watch those sports. No, seriously, I do. I watch all of it. I really do.
No, I was laughing at Iman. He said they're playing basketball. They're playing basketball.
Great song by Curtis Blow, one of the originators, a legend of the rap game. So yes, but that to your concern, what would happen to those, like the Wake Forest, like I said, that's what's probably going to happen. They're either going to be in the AAC, or some type of merger between the Big 12 and the ACC, and they just won't be getting $100 million. Maybe they'll get in, like they are now, $25-30 million, because they'll still be on TV, and the bowl games are still going to be there. And with the two new rules with the playoffs, there's 12 teams, so they're just going to do certain adjustments, and certain ones they're still going to have an opportunity to compete for a championship. So it's not like doom and gloom, like their programs are going to be totally annihilated. The funding, yes, you want to be in the ACC, the SEC and the Big 10, because that's where your big payday is. And a school like Florida State, NYG, a school like yours, North Carolina, they're going to get scooped up, and they're just going to continue to get paid. But yes, for the sports overall, the athletics in terms of college sport, the days have changed, man. And once you see the Pac-12, which has been around for 108 years, get decimated and destroyed like that, that just tells you, what? It's the price of doing business, ladies and gentlemen. And to be brutally honest, the Pac-12 being gone is their own fault. Sorry. They let the Big 12 jump them to get that TV contract, where they could have had that TV contract, and we would not see USC and UCLA and Oregon and Washington in the Big 10, or Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah going to the Big 12. Well, Colorado,
I don't like the Pac-12 or whatever, man. I'm my concern, man, is with my ACC, man. Like, look, I grew up on Big East basketball and ACC football. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they already got rid of the Big East. Now you're talking about getting rid of the ACC, and now the reasoning. I'm not going to say excuse. The reasoning is, because I get it. You know what I'm saying? It is a business. Is money. And I'm thinking, like, okay, if you're trying to break bread with these schools and with these colleges, what about these other colleges? And what about these other sports programs, like you mentioned, Coach, that aren't football and aren't basketball and aren't going to bring in that type of revenue? What about those kids? How do they feel now going up against these monster conferences in baseball or these monster conferences in volleyball or swimming or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I said with Carolina, I know Carolina can hold their own in basketball for sure. They're gonna get their ass kicked in football. Baseball, they're gonna be all right. But again, you thinking about Wake Forest, how do they match up in the Big Ten now with
Man,
30 schools? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
I'm an ACC guy too, man. I'm Duke, so you know how it go.
Mhm.
Duke basketball, you know what I'm saying? But then the only thing with Duke going to the Big Ten would be reunited with Maryland again. Maryland was a good what you call it for us.
Duke and Carolina is gonna be fine basketball wise,
Mhm.
but football, I don't know.
But
It's
Maryland ain't
gonna
doing
be a rough
Hold on,
time.
NYG. I get what you're saying, but prime example is look at my Scarlet Knights. The Scarlet Knights came into the Big Ten, and other than their first year, they were totally getting bitch slapped around.
All right.
It's about on the flip
Yeah.
side. The flip side is you're going to be opening yourself up to a bigger recruiting network because remember, I said unlimited scholarships.
Yep.
So you're going to, if you were to go into, let's just say for argument's sake, North Carolina and Duke go into the SEC. That's fertile recruiting ground right there. So your football program is going to still be able to survive. They're already a winning program. So kids are going to still want to go there. Are you going to get the 5 stars? No. But if you can get the mid to low 4 stars and the 3 stars, that's still going to allow your program to be competitive. And it's still going to allow you to go out there and play good quality football. And then you know what?
But how does that look like for the kids though? See, I'm always
What do you mean by how does it look like for the kids?
Well, okay, so for instance, Carolina and the ACC top. I'm gonna always point to basketball because that's what I know. We can make an analogy with football if you want to. That's cool. I'll listen to you. But top recruit Carolina going into basketball school. Now you know because Carolina's 1-2 with Duke. You know you can argue 1-2. Now you're going into the Big Ten. So now you have or the SEC. The SEC I think would be more competition because if you're gonna put Kentucky and Kansas in there, then now you're really gonna have to grind because those are top-notch schools.
They're still going to get, no matter what, they're still going to get the kids recruit wise for basketball because of the name.
Okay, but hold up. Let me finish. Now, that's one thing. Now, when you're going to football now,
which is where I was going.
Now you're gonna be like, okay.
But NYG.
I'm not necessarily looking at Carolina for football, but when you're comparing Carolina and the ACC, you have a lot less competition. So that kid's gonna be like, okay, like I can go to Carolina and shine because I'm in the ACC. Like they're now when you're talking about the Big Ten, they're not gonna fuck with Carolina.
But NYG again. I just gave you the prime example, a great example in Rutgers. Rutgers is doing well in recruiting right now. You're going to open
up.
That's
Rutgers, man.
But
because
you're missing
Rutgers,
No,
you're missing my point because Rutgers is not in a 30-team conference right now.
But what I'm saying is, first and foremost, in football, it's about recruiting. The area, if you're in the SEC, you're going to be recruiting. Number one, you're going to be down in Florida. Florida is highly fertile in terms of talent. Now you can go out to Texas. Texas is very fertile in terms of talent. And that's why I said you can get those mid to low 4 stars or the 3 stars, because they're not all going to go to the Georgia can only take but so much. Alabama can only take, there's still going to be talent there. So that's what I'm getting at. If you're going to the Big Ten, now you're going to be able to recruit going all the way to the West Coast. Right. It gives you more in terms of football. And this is what I want you to understand. I'm talking football.
Yeah, I get it.
It gives you bigger window. If you're in the Big Ten, if you're North Carolina, you can Northeast corridor right there. You can still recruit. Now you can go into the Midwest, and now you can go to the far West on the West Coast. So you're still going to be able to recruit Are you going to be competing for national championships year after year? No. But you could still bring in some talent, and maybe guess what? One year you get in the playoff and you get a nice run, and you can make a run for a championship. So it's not doom and gloom. It's not to the magnitude that you're making it out to be. Whether you're in a 30-team conference or a 20-team conference, recruiting, that's just the way football goes. These kids see it. The top teams are going to get the 5 stars. That's a given. They're going to get the high 4 stars. And then everyone else is going to go from there. And now you got to get the kids in, and then you got to develop them. Now, if you're telling me you don't trust Matt Brown in terms of developing players, that's a different story. That's a different argument. But the opportunity is still going to be there for you no matter what.
I see. But MIG, what he's saying is like the NIL deal now levels the playing field now. Kids are going to go to them schools now. The recruits going to go. They're going to go for the money. Everybody can't go to Alabama. They can't go to Alabama, so they're going to go to North Carolina. Duke. They getting paid. If you're getting $3 million from a NIL deal, I'm going. I don't care if I'm getting beat up or whatever, but you're going to have other kids going with you too. It's all about that money. These kids are getting paid now.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if the money's going to be there for every school, and I don't know if the opportunity is going to be there for every school. And what I'm saying is, when you're and I'm gonna always think logical, so I understand everything that you guys are saying, but to me, I'm just a logical person. So when you're thinking about a school, and you're you're thinking about getting recruited to a school as a young man or woman or whatever, you're going to think about going to the place that offers you the most money. But what if those situations are sort of similar? You're going to go to the place where you can win and you can get a name for yourself.
They're also going to go to the conference. Go pull up all the recruits. Listen to me. Pull up all these kids, and when they ask them this, and they all say the same thing. Well, I get to play in the SEC. I get to play in the Big Ten. That's the first thing that's some of the big things that they say. So,
but there's only going to be 2 conferences at that point, so you're not going to have a choice. You're going to either play for the SEC or the Big Ten. That's the point I'm trying to make to you. We're talking about the super conferences that they're trying to build.
Yes, NYG, I understand where you're going in terms of that. What I'm saying is, when it comes to recruiting, these kids get recruited not just only by the top level program, they get recruited by every conference. I know. What I'm saying is, when they say that, why did they go there? They say this because I get to compete. See, here's the key word: compete. In these major programs. Not every kid is going to be offered to get into the SEC. So if they get an opportunity, that's what you're going to hear. And these are these mid to low 4 stars to 3 stars that I'm talking about, because the stars are a big factor. What you're talking about is you're looking more at the 5 stars. Yes, they're all going to get recruited by the big conferences, but in terms of like North Carolina,
the big schools, though, this is what we're talking about.
Listen to where I'm going, NYG. Just let me finish. Go ahead, in terms of North Carolina for football, yes, they are a big school, but they're no more for basketball. So we all understand that. So the focus is on football. They're not known that way. So when these kids get recruited, they're saying if North Carolina is in the SEC or the Big Ten, they're going to say, well, I chose North Carolina because I get the opportunity to compete. Let's say they're there, and this kid who's a 3-star is recruited by North Carolina, and then every other school, every other conference is the Big 12, is the Mountain West, those types of conferences.
But can you win like that?
Yes.
Coach? With the bunch of 3, okay.
It's your development. Just Michigan State, when Coach Mike D'Antonio was there, I hope I said his name right. That was his big thing. The coach at Kirk Ferentz at Iowa, he recruits 3 stars. He wins. It's your player development, so you can't say you can't. This is the thing. Now,
I don't know about that.
That's why I'm saying that. If you look at when it goes into recruiting, if you look at Iowa, They get 3 stars, mostly 3 stars, in the mid to low 4 stars. Same thing with Wisconsin. On occasion, will they get a 5-star or a high 4-star? Yes, because of their name, yes. But most of their kids are 3 stars to 4 stars. It's about how you develop these kids. So if they're in these conferences, I get where your concern is, but these kids are going to say, I get the opportunity to go there. That's the first thing. I get the opportunity. So just because now I can go in and I can compete on my team to get playing time. Now, if I'm getting playing time, now I'm going to be competing towards other top level, other talent. Because now let's be real. Their goal ultimately is to get to the NFL. Well, how do you get there? By competing against the top talent. If you can compete against the top, they're not going to be afraid to compete. If a kid is worrying about competing at the highest level, oh well, how can I compete at the Big Ten? Then you don't need to be playing there. I'm sorry, you don't.
know, Coach. Those star recruitings. I don't really care about the stars that you have. I care about the kid. When it comes to me with scouting, you can be a 3-star, but you could be as athletically gifted as that 5-star. You just don't know the nuances of the game yet. And if I could teach you the nuances of that game, I just got a freaking 5-star for 3-star level recruiting, because there's certain players out there that only 3-star recruits because, one, the area that they're playing in, because they don't get enough exposure, and 2, they don't have the what do you say, the coaching that those other kids got. Like if you're at IMG Academy, they're getting taught everything. Right. But this 3-star kid, he has the talent just as much as them, but he doesn't have the coaching behind him. But if I have a coach that could develop players, I could turn that 3-star into one of the best players in college football, because he has the talent. He just don't know the nuances of the game, how to dip his shoulder to stack a DB, late hands to catch the ball, or the route running, the nuances of route running, how to settle into a zone. If I could teach him that, he becomes a monster. Just like those undrafted free agents that you see in NFL that turn out to be Hall of Famers sometimes, like Eric Moulds or somebody like that. They're dope. They just don't know the nuances of the game because they weren't taught that. Like these other kids have been taught from since high school. And also, if I could get him and I got a teacher that could get those guys to put that in their brains, oh, they already got the athletic talent. That's what I'm looking at. If you're athletically gifted, and I know that you can be coached, because there's certain 3-stars that are 3-stars because they can't be coached. They think they know everything. And then you have the 3-stars that are athletically gifted, but they ain't never had the coaching that these 5-star kids got. So when they come in and they get that coaching like that, it's like, oh, that's what they doing. Oh, this is easy. Kill them. And also, that's what I'm looking for. But go ahead, man.
And some of these rankings are because of the high schools they go to. Some of them are 7A and 6A schools that are getting rankings. And these kids are then they got some kids that like 3A schools that's real good, but because they had a 3A school, they're not getting the ranking, and that's the difference.
It's also the circuits too, getting out there.
Right,
getting to these camps and letting these schools see you, and you want the more camps you go to, the more you're seen, and the more offers you get, it ups your ranking. So there's a big factor, but the point being is, to NYG's concern, you can still be successful in these big conferences. It also opens up the doors to a bigger recruiting base for these schools. Now you don't have to just, yes, you want to recruit your area, you want to own your state if at all possible. But look, I keep saying it to you. I've said it to you quite often. The thing about Rutgers, why they're doing well, is they go down to Florida, they hit Florida, and now they're hitting Georgia, and now they're hitting North Carolina, they're going into Ohio, and they're going into Michigan, and they're not going after the 5-stars. They're going after the 3-stars. And now in New Jersey, they're locking down the 4-stars, which are now preventing them from going to other schools, which is now going to make them better. But their main focus is when they go to these other areas, we're focusing on the 3-stars, or we're looking for those hidden gems. Maybe he's a 2-star that no one knows about, but yet and still he has, to like Pat's point, He has the skill set. He just is not known. So now we bring him in and we can develop him. And next thing you know, there you go. And that's the thing. You want to look at coaches like that as a recruit. You want a coach who's going to really develop you. Their program is going to develop you. And also look at how many kids they get to the NFL. Kids who were no stars and they're getting to the NFL, even if they're in an undrafted free agent, but they're in camp and they're making a roster. Christian Isian for Tampa Bay played in Brooklyn. He played in Brooklyn, was lowly recruited, went to Rutgers, and now he's down in Tampa Bay.
Yo, and another thing, Coach, if you want to look at development at its peak in the NFL, look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and how they get these receivers, bro. From Mike Wallace to Antonio Brown to Deontay Lewis, Juju Smith-Schuster to Martavis Bryant to all these got Claypool when he first came out.
The Giants have done that too, though. To be honest with you,
like they turned like these dudes, like Antonio Brown. If he didn't go crazy, he could have probably. I think that's the only receiver that I ever known that was on pace to catch Jerry Rice. And Antonio Brown was what, a 6th round pick?
Yep.
Hey, he was nasty, bro.
Yeah, it's like Antonio Brown had the skill set, and they was like, man, this dude's skill set is ridiculous. And we get him in here and teach him how to play this receiver, that dude's gonna be a monster. And guess what? He turned into a monster. The Pittsburgh Steelers do it all the time. And it's like the Cowboys. For as much as I clown Jerry Jones, that motherfucker can pick some offensive linemen like crazy. That man been picking offensive linemen since the early 90s. And when has the Dallas Cowboys offensive line been trash?
I don't remember.
Cooper Beebe.
I can't remember.
I don't know if they ever been trashed. The offensive line.
These motherfuckers they just
some trash defenses, and some trash receivers.
That offensive line, that man can pick an offensive lineman, man. I'm telling you.
And NYG, to the other point, like with Nick Saban, the reason Nick Saban retires is because of that nil deal. Because that nil deal leveled the playing field. Like the recruits he was getting recruits, but now they're starting to go to other places and stuff like that, and can't compete with that. So these guys are going to be spread out everywhere.
And let them retire, man. Because
no, I'm just saying that's what's happening. They're gonna spread out to other places, man, other schools.
Basically, what I'm saying is, when it comes to getting a good football team, you don't have to have 99 rated recruits.
Right.
You have to have development. If you got good development, you can do anything with just about most players that you can pick. Now, do they have to have talent? Yes. I'm not saying you could take a bunch of scrubs and just make them a Hall of Fame team. I'm not saying that. But when you got people that have development like Bill Parcells did with the Giants, he developed players. He had Belichick. Everybody was developing players. When Tom Coughlin was here, we developed players. We're getting back towards that a little bit because I can see it with Michael McFadden. He's being developed pretty doggone well because when he first came in, he's nowhere near the player that he was when he first came in here. Like I really think that him and Bobby O are gonna be a huge tandem for this team. Dexter Lawrence, he was developed when we finally got some people who came to come in here and put him in the right damn position that he was supposed to be playing in from the get-go. Stop lining his big ass at edge. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
You can see the development with these players. Now, I want to see if we can develop Hyatt. You can see the development with Wan'Dale Robinson. He just got to get healthy. You can see the development with Banks throughout the year. Cordell Flott a little bit.
Development in the whole defensive backfield, bro. Like you know who the good coaches are on this team because you see our D-line developing, you see our a secondary developing. You know what I'm saying? You see our linebacking core starting to develop.
So what needs to develop now? Not to cut you off.
Yeah, you got it.
Is our identity. What do we want to be? Because I think that's in flux right now. I do believe there's a little bit of a rift between Kafka and Dabo, to be honest with you. I do believe there's a little bit of rift the direction of the team. I truly believe they want to pass that ball 90 times out of 100. And that's what scares me. That's dangerous in the NFC East.
Yep.
You're not in the AFC West where everybody launches the ball everywhere.
You ain't
know what
got
I'm
that
saying?
kind of fucking team.
Yeah, because we
That's
don't have
the
the
point.
offensive line to pull that off.
Yeah, I don't care
And
what
to be
division
honest
you
with
in,
you,
but
we
if
don't
you
have a we don't have an alien in Josh Allen that can make up for that a little bit. Because when you look at the Bills, you still don't know what the fuck the Bills scheme really is. It's
and
just
I don't
that
know what the Giant scheme is, and I've been trying to tell people that.
I don't really know what the Giants scheme. If they would have stuck what they did that very first year, I think we would be better. We would have been better off last year, even though the injuries and everything happened. But I truly believe Dabo and them believe that airing the ball out is the way to go. But you can't change the NFC East. You can't change the beast that the NFC East is, man. It's the trenches all day long.
I
And you're gonna
think
get
it to
people
me.
beat
It
up
feel like
playing like that.
Joe Shane understand that, but it feel like Brian Dable. I'm not saying he doesn't understand it. It just feel like he's more or less wanting to kind of push his
Yeah, he's
system.
bullheaded. Go ahead and say it. He's
You know what I'm
bullheaded a
saying?
little bit.
And I think Joe Shane gets it. You know what I'm saying? Like I do. You know what I'm saying? Just based off the move that he's made. You know what I mean? Because you don't let Saquon Barkley go to fix an offensive line for some boo-boo shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you're saying, look, I know the priority of this team. And yeah, fans are going to be mad because we had to let Saquon Barkley go. But again, the priority of this team is to fix this offensive line and to fix this defensive line, particularly the pass rush. So
which he did. He went and got out. He went and got Brian
he
Burns.
knows that, but I don't know if Brian Dable knows that. I don't know if Brian Dable wants to play that type of football. I think he's on the Buffalo Bills shit, and it doesn't help to have Mike Kafka there, who came from Kansas City, which Kansas City, in a sense, people don't want to realize they're actually more focused on the trenches than people think.
Yeah,
but they look like a flash and dash team because of Pat Mahomes. But put Andy Reid and Spagnuolo in the room, and you're gonna see what their real you're gonna see what their real philosophy is. And I don't know if Brian Dable can get out his own fucking. See, this dude right here is a coach that I'm afraid of, because I'm afraid that him being stubborn can fail dramatically, but it can also work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm afraid of.
And see what the difference between a coach like Dabo and Andy Reid. Andy Reid knows the trenches have to be fixed, and he actually fixed the trenches in mid-season one year. To be honest, when he seen Mahomes getting his ass beat up like that,
yeah,
they fixed that shit immediately that season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that Brian Dable doesn't care about the trenches or the running game. I just think that he has his philosophy, and it's a good philosophy if you have the pieces. But the thing is, I don't think he pays attention enough to them.
Yo,
See, he's trying to get these weapons, and I will say this: how it turns out to be as advertised, he built a hell of a damn weapons, because Neighbors, Hyatt, and Wan'Dale Robinson could be the next trio of receivers that we're talking about for the New York Giants, to be honest with you. But the running game, we still had a running game with those guys, with Knicks, Cruz, and Manningham. We still had Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got to hope
also
that
had the offensive line that was better at run blocking than pass blocking. Now, in Eli Manning's later years, they got better at pass blocking. But those first few years, that team was a running team, man. They built that shit off Tiki Barber, to be honest with you, man. And they were cooking. And then, all that shit happened, yada, yada, yada. But they put it on Eli, and Eli being a smart quarterback that he is, he's like, look, I'm going to play to the beat of the team. And sports, a lot of times, I say more than not, it's about chemistry. So when people when I tell people that I think Saquon Barkley is better off this team, and it's gonna help Daniel Jones, people say, "Oh, you're a retard. You're unpopular, yada yada yada." But when I give you the facts and the stats to back it up, people don't know what to say.
Nope.
Because again, Eli Manning had Jeremy Shockey, a vulgar personality. Tiki Barber, vulgar personality. Got rid of them dudes. They bought in Plaques, chill dude, and Antonio Pierce, and they got him an offensive line. What they do? Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So
fact.
why is it that people can't? And look, I'm not the biggest Daniel Jones fan, despite what you guys think. You know what I'm saying? I came into this community debating this dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So don't take it like I'm just trying to take up for Daniel Jones. What I'm trying to understand and make you guys understand is the Giants have a vibe. They have a certain type of way that they win in the NFL, and it's based off defense and a running game. And when you're trying to build a team with the New York Giants and you're trying to pass the ball first with a quarterback that everybody questions, every fucking body has questions about. You know what I'm saying? And you're trying to build this passing team, Brian Dable. This is what you're trying to do. You're trying to build a passing team with Daniel Jones, and everybody, including the general manager, has questions about whether he can be the guy or not. This is what you're trying to do instead of leaning on the running game. Now, let me further compound this, man, by saying this. What is John Harbaugh going to do for Justin Herbert, Pat?
Shit, get him a running game.
God damn it. You my brother. You see what I'm saying?
That's what John Harbaugh's about, bro.
But
every quarterback that John Harbaugh has had that he's turned around is because of the running game. He put a running game behind him.
But again, the running game is old and it's washed up, and nobody wants to use it no more. But again, they clowned the Giants for not signing a running back. So
why do you think Austin Eckler ain't good? Austin Eckler's not a pound the ball running back.
Right, bro. So
he even said it. See, they got rid of me because I'm not going to carry the ball 300 times. Okay, bye.
So Saquon said he carried the ball 300, 400, 500 times, whatever. That's cool. But again, where's that getting us?
No, I'm saying Austin Eckler said I'm not a 300 carry guy, and that's why they got rid of me.
Yeah, with the Chargers. You're right.
Yeah, with the Chargers, yeah. And John Harbaugh, he's going to run the ball. And maybe that'll make Herbert more clutch. Who knows?
But still, it's like people always want to talk about Daniel Jones, but they don't want to admit that Justin Herbert has been one of the worst quarterbacks in clutch fourth quarter situations in the league.
Right.
So 16 fourth quarter interceptions.
Yeah, but
what is the worst?
But it's the funniest thing. Everybody talk about Daniel Jones can't throw the ball. Daniel Jones threw the ball more in college than any of these quarterbacks you're talking about. I looked at their stats: Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence.
Because all those guys had teams around them. Name one guy on Duke.
He was a throwing quarterback. He was a throwing quarterback. He threw the ball. That's what I don't see.
Bro, we went to the 2022 playoffs with Richie James as the number one target.
That's why I find it so funny and hilarious.
Man, Daniel Jones still had a 60% completion percentage in college and had the most drops by any receiving core in the NCAA. You can look that up.
He had 1,275 passing attempts in college in 3 years. That's 3 years, not 4.
And was getting killed.
Right, 1,200 times he threw the ball. It's like, yo.
So let me give y'all a little nugget, man, and then we're gonna throw it to coach and hit coach's corner, man, and then we're gonna get out of here, man. But tonight on the Hard Knocks episode, it Saquon Barkley basically agreed to get back with the Giants. Joe Shane once wanted Saquon Barkley back. He did. He said, "Hey, look, I want you back." Like he was going back and forth. He was torn, kind of like me and you. Remember me and you, Pat, talking? We're like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like kind of like going back and forth with that. That's exactly how Joe Shane felt with Saquon Barkley, and he basically was you know what I'm saying, kind of torn on the situation. And then he said, "Hey, look, Saquon, are you gonna get back with us? We want you back." And Saquon's like, "Yeah, you know where I want to be." That was his exact fucking words. Quote me not, quote me if you will. He said, "You know where I want to be." So again, y'all better back off my motherfucking general manager, Joe Shane, bro. He did the right fucking thing. And we're gonna see how this thing plays out as these episodes go on and go on. But again, he told Saquon, "We want you here. You know, we're gonna let you test the market." Because basically Joe Shane, and it's gonna sound bad. It is, but he didn't really know what the market was gonna be for Saquon Barkley. He said that.
Nobody knew.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like, "I don't know what the market is. I'm gonna let you test the market, and I want to let you see what your worth is and come back to us, man, because we want you here." Basically,
You know, Twitter's gonna blow up tomorrow, so you already know.
I don't give a fuck
No, I
about
know
Twitter, man. You know what I'm saying? This is NYG22. This is why I do this podcast, man, because a lot of people don't let me get my thoughts out when I fucking talk. And the only reason that I'm saying what I'm saying right now is because I've been the one backing Joe Shane. You know what I'm saying? I'm backing Daniel Jones now. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I'm backing Daniel Jones, not just because of Daniel Jones, it's because of my brothers. Because Pat has had to endure so much hate for defending Daniel Jones. G Nation, Joe, several other content creators. You know what I'm saying? Crush on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? This is a female, and they be dogging the shit out of her because she like Daniel Jones. It's like, guys, like, come the fuck on, bro. And that's why I get in the way, because I'm like, I'm not a Daniel Jones defender. I'm really not. I think he's average. I've told Pat that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But again, I don't like the giant slander, and I don't like the content creator slander. I don't like none of that shit. So that's why I get on my horse. But go ahead.
Nah, you was gonna go to Coach's Corner?
No, we're not doing Coach's Corner tonight.
Okay. You got it, Coach, man. So I'm gonna wrap it up, man. Before I do, tell everybody where they can find y'all at. We'll go around the room. We'll start with Coach. We'll go to Cave and then Pat. So tell everybody where they can find you at, what you got going on, and this is your opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to promote your show.
Yeah, you can just find me at Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sport on YouTube, Styles Papa 72 on Twitter, Don't Sweat the Technique on Instagram. Tomorrow, hopefully, Pick and Roll Podcast, as well as another episode of the Reading and Attack Live. Thursday, the Full Court Press, talking about the WNBA. Friday, another Pick and Roll Podcast Live. Saturday, halftime coaching adjustment show, 2:00 on my channel. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you can find me at the Man Cave Podcast on YouTube channel, and also on Twitter you can find me at the Man Cave _Scott. And I think Thursday I should be doing a show Thursday, probably on the NBA free agency and you know, the contracts, the rookie contracts, things like that. You know, so should be on Thursday this week.
That's what's up, man. Definitely appreciate you and Coach, man, for everything you guys do, man. You already know what it is. Pat, tell them where they can find you at. Tell them what you got going on, bro.
You can catch an episode of New York Giants Full Access premieres always at 11 a.m. Eastern. You're gonna catch a new episode of the the NFL All 32 podcast tomorrow. And I'm probably going live for New York Giants Full Access Live tomorrow night, probably around 10 Eastern time. So, yeah, you can catch me right here on Big Pat Sports Talk. Everybody know where I'm at. And keep the hate coming, man. I love
it. That's right, Pat, man. Tell them, man, keep the hate coming, man. It's the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. Look, we are a conglomerate, and you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Coach. That's my big bro. Shout out to Cave. You know what I'm saying? Cave. Hey, you solid, bro.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? Yo, you fam now. So embrace that. And of course, man, shout out to Big Pat, man. If it wasn't for Big Pat, I wouldn't be doing this channel. Just be honest with y'all. He motivated me to start this channel, and I got 300 motherfucking subscribers. Y'all hit that like button.
Congrats, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So for real, man. Shout out to my brothers, man. But shout out to the chat, man. Y'all been rolling, man. East Coast Gridiron, man. Coach Dante, man. Definitely appreciate chopping it up with you, bro. You are a phenomenal content creator, man. Y'all go sub to Coach Dante, East Coast Gridiron, man. Definitely, man, a good brother to talk to for sure. Knows his sports in and out, knows life. You know what I'm saying? So we had a great conversation last night on Coach's stream. Iman Perry, you already know what it is. Ghost Dog. Who else we got in here? Irv, Big Lou, G Nation, Big Fan Breezy, crowd favorite, Daniel Berry, Coach Troll Dave, Jacob, Jacob, Leaf, and Eric Johnson, man. I think that's all we got, man. If I missed you, man, my bad, man. But we got to get on up out of here, man. It's almost 12 o'clock,
Right.
man. Appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. Appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. And shit. Until next time, man, we're gonna get y'all the deuces up out of here, man. So
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.